going to do it now because it's now got a thingy. Yeah, I think we're on now.
New live.
We're on now.
Now we're live.
Yay!
So what you missed, Dave, was me appearing on screen to Greg and telling him I was going to go put some clothes on. And he was like, no! I've got a shirt on because it hopefully won't be quite as bad as a t-shirt. It's very hot.
Still no pants, though.
Well, normally I wouldn't have any trousers on, but I'm going to get Chico later on. So I've got them on so that you don't have to see my bum.
Okay.
So
I don't know. Greg might not have pants on for all we know. Who knows?
Hey, yeah. You
never know. I never stand up and live.
Can I just clarify for the English viewers? I definitely have pants on, but not necessarily. Well, I have got trousers on as well, but we need to clarify that because it could be very disturbing. Going commando and all that. So Heidi was the first one to comment. Heidi said no thumbnail. It was weird. There was no thumbnail, but you made a thumbnail, and I always appreciate your thumbnails, Dave. Yeah, I always put them in there.
There's hard work goes into those thumbnails. I mean, every week I got to do a new one.
Yeah, and it's amazing. You make it look exactly the same. It must take you hours to like try and recreate the same thing again. You must have to move the people slightly so it's exactly the same.
I make Alan change the guest on our thumbnail every week.
Really?
I do.
Poor Alan.
Poor Alan.
He's got to do something.
He might appear and get angry that you're on here, and he's not, because he was angry last time. The last time you appeared. He was like, whoa, jump. I was like, all right, I'll come up on the show in a minute. So I said, that's weird. There should be a thumbnail. That's how I said it. And then I said, we'll be starting soon. Just waiting for Dave. Gareth, that last freaky week of Garb August, you can read Dave's Door erotica book. That was called it's one word, isn't it?
Unhinged.
Unhinged. Yeah. I was trying to think of parts of a door, and I thought knob.
Wait, was it hinged or unhinged?
It's not called knob, is it?
Knob. Not called knob. It could be called knob. A knob does play prominently in the story.
I guess we're not playing it clean tonight.
No. We're probably talking Garb August tonight.
Yeah,
right? What are you kidding?
We haven't even introduced Greg yet, and we're getting rude. This is ridiculous. I apologize. So MJ says, hey,
MJ.
Hi, fellas. No, I'll try and do an impersonation of her. Hi, fellas.
That's supposed to be an impersonation of MJ? Oh my God, I'm sorry, MJ.
Greg's here from Ghost Readers and Ghost Riders in the Sky.
Hey, Greg.
How'd he go? I think Greg has agreed to appear on our show soon. We're going to try and do.
Oh, did he already agree to it?
I think
that's
so.
Awesome.
It's either that or I'm putting words in his mouth.
Greg, have you agreed?
Some okie dude. Nice one. Aaron's here as well. Hi, Aaron. This is cool. Harry.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, God. Good evening. I'm just going sit back and enjoy the stream. Oh, cool. Nice one, Harry.
Oh, okay.
Hello. Here's Kat. Well,
hey, Kat.
We
Chaos is arrived.
Further. Hi, Britain. Nope. No, she doesn't like the impression. And I've worked on that for months.
He's practicing.
Cool. Thank you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Carl's back, which is fantastic. And he's already done he did a I'm Back video, and he did another video, which is a classic Please Read Your Book video, where he's talking about reading something difficult. And I was going to talk to you about this. I was going to ask you how you felt about this. I was going to bounce off Carl's video and ask you if you've got books that you've either put off, or you were kind of a bit hesitant, or you knew when you were reading them, when you were about to read them, that they might be a bit challenging and difficult, or like, oh. And I've got one here actually, which ironically I know is one of Dave's favorite books. And this book here is one I was going to mention, which I know I'm going to get to next for the Banned Books project, because I've already done the one that was my initial best one. I just read that.
Oh, I love that book.
Yeah, I love that book. So I wanted to read that one before I read this other one I'm going to talk about. So at some point in this chat, we'll talk about Carl's idea about trying to read a book that's challenging. I left a comment on his video saying I actually think it's good, or I personally go between the two things: a light read and a difficult read. I don't want to read difficult reads every time; it'll put me off reading. So I like the idea of both, like fun reads and difficult reads. How do you feel about that, you two?
Yeah, should we mention who Greg is for anybody that
Well,
doesn't know?
yeah. Okay. I've got a chaotic brain. I was going to get there in about 10 minutes.
You're like I have to say you must have just took like a super long kip. Those in the US, that means nap. Because you're on fire tonight. You're like hyper alert. I'm in a nice period at the minute. I've had a horrible June. Yeah.
July is much better. So July, I'm liking July, and
That's
August
good.
should be even better because August is obviously my holiday. So I like August very much. It's your reward for the madness of teaching. Anyway, Greg, tell us about your channel.
Okay, my channel is Another Bibliophile Reads. I recognize most people in the chat, so most of them probably have seen my channel and been on my live. But I just have a pretty standard booktube channel. I'm rather an eclectic reader, so I don't stick to one subject. I go back and forth on a lot of different things. I do science fiction, I do horror, I do literature, I do nonfiction, I do westerns, so never know what you're going to get when you drop by on my channel.
Yeah, and Greg's one of the most articulate channels on BookTube.
I don't know about that, but
yeah, you can see the really good reasoning behind it. But is there something you don't read?
I don't read romance.
Right.
Although I have one romance book on my TBR for Garbogust.
Will that be your first Garbogust romance?
It will be my first shapeshifter romance.
Okay, that's a lot more specific.
Yes.
Now he's hedging already. By the time we're done with this conversation, okay, maybe I've read 100, 200.
I have read one official romance book before in my life. That came when the Kindle was brand new.
Was that Twilight?
No.
Was it 50 Shades?
No, it was not 50 Shades.
Was it one of the other ones?
No, nothing. But what happened? Well, I'm going to get to it. What happened was Kindle was brand new, and there was a bulletin board that I joined, and we had this group where every month you got assigned a person randomly, and you got to pick a book for that person to read. And you put down what you like, what you don't like. And I said, I don't like romances. And the woman who picked me says, would you be willing to try a romance? And I said,
it sounds like she was trying to chat you up.
Could be. No, this was a long time ago. I was much younger and much,
Yeah, you just wasted that opportunity. They'd start reading a book instead.
But there's a picture on the bulletin board, so who knows what I would look. But she picked it was a standard romance. Now, the one thing she did is she said, I picked a book with a high spice level for you. So it was spicy, but something? It's not nearly, or was not nearly as spicy as some of the cowboy trash or.
Was it set in an Indian restaurant?
No. It was just, typical romance, woman meets man, fall in love. There's some sort of argument. They can't get together. And then they figure out the argument was nothing. Oh, they're together. End of story.
Yeah.
No. So the shapeshifter romance will be my first shapeshifter romance.
Do you remember the name of the previous romance book that you read?
It's in my database of books that I read. I'd have to look it up. I don't remember it all. It was very non-memorable.
It was Wuthering Heights.
Yeah, no, I get you. I don't.
Also, young adults
either.
I really, really do not like young adults.
Yeah.
No young adult?
No, I mean, I mentioned this before. when you start off riding a bicycle, you start off on training wheels, or almost everyone does. And then when you get off training wheels, you never go back to riding training wheels unless you're under some sort of physical disability. And as I see it, young adult books are the reading training wheels to get you up to reading speed. Why would you just go back?
So you don't read books about bicycles? Just trying to work this out.
I'm just using that as an example. You know?
Yeah, you say that, but if you were like at a picnic, like a family party,
right?
And one of the kids showed up with the bike with training wheels, and it had like flashy lights on it, and it set off fireworks and sparks and everything like that. You'd get on it, you'd ride it. You know, you'd want to try it out. Even though you don't really need training wheels anymore.
Maybe, but I would not be a usual thing.
No. So books like I don't read a ton of YA either, but I mean some have like Hunger Games and Maze Runner and stuff. Those are like really.
Oh my God! It had one of the most ridiculous scenes of any book that I've ever read in my life.
Oh.
Now, I mean, this is my problem with Hunger Games, is that it's one of the most ludicrous dystopian societies ever because they let teenagers take it down. But we'll get, but the scene that I was busting and laughing at is that there's a scene where what's her name, Katniss, is at this drawing for who gets to go to the Hunger Games.
Yeah, and
her little sister is drawn. And she immediately steps in and says, "I take her place."
Yeah.
No hesitation.
That's because her little sister's going to die.
Why?
Well, the thing is,
I think we're learning something about Greg if he's characterizing this as like the most ridiculous.
Well, the thing is,
and definitely wouldn't step up for a family member apparently.
Well, the thing is, if me and my older brother would go, "Don't be the first to die."
Wow.
Well, would you step over if it was one of your cats?
Daddy's got to think about.
I love the idea. I'm now thinking about Hunger Games being like your pets could be chosen.
Wow.
I don't know. I just found the whole book just nonsensical and
stupid. Okay, I haven't actually read Hunger Games trilogy yet, but I do want to, Greg. I'm sorry, but I do want to read it at some point. But let's go back to these. So anyway, hopefully that's introduced your channel to the people that already know you. So Erie says, "Hello."
Hey, Erie.
Nicole's here. Wow,
hey, Nicole.
Star lineup. Yep. Greg is a bit of a legend. Matt's here. Fantastic. Hello, mate.
Hey Matt.
Kat's here. Elaine's here.
Hey, Elaine.
I don't know if Elaine. I've been a bit distracted tonight, so I don't know if Elaine's been doing a live stream tonight. Probably was. How's it going? Hey, Kat, getting ready to go to work. Oh, have a good day at work. Sounds like they did have a chat earlier. I've agreed to be on. We haven't said, oh yeah, brilliant, cool. Well, I will be in touch. Although I don't know how to be in touch.
Who is Greg?
Who is Greg? Yeah. I just started the most epic historical fiction alternative from Shogun called Musashi. Wow, it's great. From the first line, it's a very big boy. Maybe Greg, have you read that, Musashi?
I have it on my shelf.
From the first line, it's great. I like that. I like it when the first.
Let me check. Hold on. What's the author again? I'll check the first line.
She hasn't said it, I think.
Oh.
Heidi, tell us if the first line.
Yeah, I'm looking for it on my shelf. I know I have it somewhere.
Greg is the mystery man. Greg who? Who is this Greg guy? I know. We don't very often introduce people to you guys. What's the movie of the night? They went. It's Another Bibliophile Reads. I don't think they mean it. I think they know who he is. Shapeshifter Romance sounds good. Get into the fantasy smut.
Well, see how spicy it is. It's got to stay. It's got to rank up to the naughty westerns, which are really spicy.
What about you? What about this goblin breeder you just brought Boy, that looks like a pretty spicy.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be very spicy and.
And when I say you, I mean we, because you made me buy it today.
99 cents, right?
Mine was $2.99. I saw that, but mine was $2.99.
You know what happened was, if you buy the single volume of the book, it's $2.99.
Yeah.
If you buy the omnibus with like the 6 or 7 books, it's 99 cents.
No, my omnibus was 99. Was $2.99. That's what I got.
Maybe it was on sale for that day.
Yeah, you must have got it on sale.
It sounds like a bargain.
Still seemed like a pretty good deal. Still like six books.
3,000 pages for $3. So, but I have a feeling that's going to be a DNF.
3,000 hot pages.
I just unless he can get it as spicy as those westerns, I think it'll be a DNF.
I was trying to think of what it was that I was gonna say based on something that Heidi said. And I was going to say that, I don't know if you guys like this idea, but I was going to do it's going to take me a while to look through the shelves, but I was going to do a video on first lines.
You want more work?
Heidi said that one. First line. There you go. Yeah, so books have got really good first lines.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I think that would be a good shout. So, yeah, so is that a big, she said it's a big boy, she said. Is that a big book?
Yeah, he just held it up.
I just held it up.
Yeah, I saw the cover.
Turn it sideways.
I don't know how big it is.
Gareth needs visuals.
I had the first line. You want to hear the
big.
first line?
Yeah.
The first line.
No, the first word is a Japanese name.
Okay.
I'm probably not going to get the Japanese name entirely correct.
We're not Japanese. We wouldn't know.
Takiso lay among the corpses.
Okay.
There were thousands of them.
That's a good opening line.
That's a good opening
line. Or opening paragraph.
Yeah. So the film tonight for Matt is Jurassic World Rebirth. And I actually said to Ali earlier, I want to catch up with the Jurassic Park films because I want to see that. And then she said, why? And I said, because I like dinosaurs. and she laughed. But I like the idea. The Shapeshifting. Didn't you read Akatar? Did you read Akatar? Did you read the whole thing? You didn't DNF it?
I did read. I did read the first 2 books in that series. Hold on. Are those considered romance or just romantasy? Are they the same thing?
It's the same thing, isn't it? Romantasy. There's the modern romance, really, isn't it? It's like the trending romance, isn't it? And it's definitely YA, isn't it?
But I read it for the band book club because Utah banned all Sarah J. Maas's books.
Yeah.
And really, you know something? It's not even that smutty.
Yeah.
The one thing we decided that the reason it got banned is they talked about contraceptives for men. Just like, oh dear, men have contraceptives.
Oh, I thought it was the spice. Yeah, because like 2 of her books are like among the most banned like throughout the country.
But for me, it was not that graphic. I mean,
yeah. I thought about reading it when you guys were reading it, but I don't know. I just couldn't. I just
corny.
didn't want to.
It's really corny. Is the worst part.
So
I don't know what you're. Yeah, go ahead.
Go on. No, go on.
No, I was just going to say. He said he doesn't read romance, but it's starting to sound like he's read a lot of these. But go ahead, Gareth.
No, my point was really pointless. It's just that you may know Ralph normally sits next to me when I do these live streams, and he's on the floor a lot lately because of the heat. And I've just noticed Chico come in, and he's coming from the garden, and he's got this bit of the garden stuck in his mouth, and he just looks really stupid. And he's just, oh, bless him. I'm gonna go and get him in a minute. Right. Dinosaurs. Cat said dinosaurs. Have you guys read Necroscope? I'm almost done, and I heard the vampires in the next book of the series would kick the ass of the Twilight vamps.
Don't
know.
I've been meaning to pick that up. I'm waiting to go a sale on Kindle. Like one day it'll be $1.99 and I'll buy it.
Yeah.
I mean,
they look interesting. I keep seeing Vaughn talk about them.
Michael K. Vaughn loved it. He really liked the first one. I don't know if he's ever moved on to the second.
Star just didn't work for me, Kat said.
in the study
Elaine
support.
says, did Dave just say he doesn't like romance? Dave?
Yeah, I'm not really big on romance either. Well,
No,
you talking about the smut? She's talking about the smut, I think. That's
I
Olive number one.
Yeah, it's different, isn't it? I wouldn't read a straight romance book, I don't think.
Yeah.
I like relationships in books, but not just he said, she said kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll read them in a certain setting, but
yeah.
I mean, I read that Lady Chatterley's Lover.
All right.
And
it's tame. I mean, that's really tame.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the time it wasn't.
Dude,
right? That's why it was so scandalous.
No, the thing was at the time is that she was upper class and he was, I don't know, he would be lower or lower middle class, something like that. And they said, oh, a lady would not go with a man.
Wasn't he? He was her gardener, wasn't he? Yeah, so he'd be working class, wouldn't he?
Yeah, the working class. I mean, I'm not sure about what you call all your classes out there, but that's what really shocked people, that she would do that.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
You didn't like
that? Was a romance without any of sci-fi or fantasy or vampires.
There's no aliens or dragons in it.
And so I just didn't straight romance. Didn't like it.
Yeah, I tried a Jackie Collins book on the first of August, and I DNF'd it. I was just really bored. I didn't care about anything that was going on. Diane says, "Let's go."
Hey, Diane.
Hey, Diane.
Nice one, Diane. He doesn't. It's all Olive. Olive likes.
That's right.
Ever read The Way, but The Book Thief.
I did.
You like that?
I liked it. Okay. I mean,
I didn't know that was YA. I thought that was just straight.
I don't think it was written as a YA book. It was originally published, I believe, someone correct me, in Australia, and they published it as an adult book. But when it was published in the United States, they decided, since the main character is young, they're going to publish it as a YA book.
Yeah.
I mean, they may have edited the US version down a bit. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't think if the characters are young, it shouldn't be just seen.
No, it has to be more than a young, like Alex from A Clockwork Orange is 14 in the.
Yeah, well, clearly that isn't.
Clockwork Orange is not YA.
Yeah. I think it's got to be like there's lots of those tropes, like a rite of passage, kind of lots of, I don't know, the social things that the teenagers get up to and all that kind of stuff. I think that's got to be part of it as well. Mick's read the books here. Hi, mate. Nice one.
Hey, Mick.
Everyone's saying hello, asking Kat how she is. I volunteer as tribute.
I think he's talking about the.
You quoted Katniss wrong.
Oh yeah.
Oh, come on! I read that 10 years. The exact wording.
Get it right, Greg.
I challenge you, MJ, to get a quote right from a book you hated that you read 10 years ago.
I'm good, thanks. Elaine waves at Elaine. Ben's here. Awesome. Thanks,
hey, man.
Ben. Thank you for commenting on my my rockets and ray guns and rocket ships video. That was nice. An author and paranormal investigator today. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so that's Elaine saying she definitely did do a live stream, which is cool. I have to watch that later. New Greg with no Musashi. Yeah, by E.G. Yoshikawa. Yeah, awesome. Goblin Breeder.
It doesn't look bad, I'll tell you what.
Well,
I love really cheap. I mean, I wish I could show the cover just because.
I know.
It's on my channel. You can if you want. I don't care.
I don't have it handy to show because it's on my.
You're worried about your reputation as well, right?
Maybe I can pull it up here.
The problem is I got to show it on my phone because
it's not.
You have to show it in color.
Yeah, here it is.
I remember it's not that rude.
Yeah, here it is. You want me to show you?
Sure.
I mean, it's a little. I think it's okay. I mean, I think
it would be hilarious if we find out this has been demonetized.
Can you see that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Goblin Breeder.
I think someone in your house just went, yes.
not in this house. That's that thing. That's got like, I guess it's pretty popular. It's like, it looks like it's like the next Ice Planet Barbarians or something. Like six of them already.
I know.
I mean, it's only been out a couple years.
That's the quote of the night.
I'm curious to see what's going to be in there. And I mean, I guess I know what he's going to be doing with the Goblin Girls, but
yeah. Well, you're curious about what's going to be in there, right? Okay.
Yeah, how spicy it's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, he's got 2 tasks when he goes. So he goes to a new planet, right? I guess, and he's got 2 tasks.
Right.
One is to save it from whatever,
some
evil thing, and the other is to repopulate the planet. And he likes one of those tasks better than the other.
Can I just tell you, we had 20 people in the room, and then you showed that cover, and it went down 3 people. You just offended 3 people, and they went, no, and ran off. I don't know if it's because they don't want any kind of green gobs of goblin, which is a fantastic quote. What's the name of your name? Is that the
name of your name?
Name of your name. Do I not have my name on the thing? What does that mean? Is it the Garborgus name?
Might be the Garborgus name.
My Garborgus name is Boobs, Dongs, and Other Magic, which is beautiful. It's poetic.
You know, Gareth. When I was doing my fake book titles, when I said create a title with that name, it rejected it. It says you can't because it says this violates our term of service. So I had to do the same. Instead of booby file, I had to use Ruby file.
Right.
And then I changed yours to Rubes, Dongs, and Other Magics. It still didn't like it.
Yeah.
So if you actually look at the cover, it's Rubes, Hogs, and Other Magic on the actual cover.
I didn't even notice that.
Did it accept mine?
Yeah, Genre's Gone Wild. It took it fine.
No, it wasn't.
No, that's not me.
Gavin's.
Yours Gavin's.
Yeah.
What's book blabber?
Oh, which one?
It's boob blabber. Isn't it?
No, I had yours has bee lather.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
I didn't even pick that. Ollie picked that name.
Yeah. I find the most, because of the timing of it, there's something about the immediacy of it. I think the most shocking one, or one of the most shocking ones, is Bookbound Dildo. I just think it's and then she changed the name of her channel, but she's still let's just keep the old one. I think it's hilarious.
Those were great though, Greg. I was cracking up looking at those covers.
Those brilliant.
Well, tonight you will see all the covers I rejected for.
Okay. Nice. That's coming up later, is it?
Yeah, it's coming out at midnight, because sometimes AI just does strange things for no reason at all. So I just, I reject it. But since this is the rejected, I feel fine saying, yeah, there's something wrong with these, or just I found better pictures,
So for anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, this is Greg recently did a Garborgus announcement video. And the beginning of his Garborgus announcement video, he's got a whole slew of books that correspond to all the co-hosts that he worked with AI to generate, and they're really cool. They're really fun. Like Gareth, like how many of those books did you look at it and you go, damn it, I wish that book really existed. I want to read.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know he generated with AI. I thought he'd done it all himself. I was just amazed. I go, Christ, that must have taken Greg so much work.
No, all AI.
I should get used to that. The people are using that tool.
Well,
because clearly Dave hasn't become an animator either, has he?
Nope.
So
no.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave, I if we can take a break, because was it one live stream before you mentioned you use King AI to generate your
Kling
videos of Olive?
Yeah.
So I subscribe to Chat GPT.
Yeah.
I decided to try to create some videos for me.
All right.
And it said, oh yeah, I can do that video. It will take 1 day for the approval. So 3 days to create like because I was originally going to do that introduction, not with individual books, but just a book great, a book dump, and
Yeah.
scan in and show the title and move on. And he never delivered it. He kept saying, "Oh yeah, we're a little late, couple more hours," and it says
Wow.
3 p.m. today.
Oh,
And I look at my watch and notice it was 6 p.m.
huh. Yeah,
That's mad.
Kling is. I researched I didn't do a ton, but I did look into what were the most promising art.
Mhm.
So Kling is specifically art, images, videos. They've incorporated
Is it
sound.
King
now.
or Kling?
Kling, Kling.
Kling. Okay.
Yeah. So I think there was a free version, but I paid $10 a month for it, and you get a certain amount of credits depending how much you pay.
Right,
So
right.
I did the $10 a month plan. It's plenty of credits for me, and it does a phenomenal job. But it gives you them pretty quickly, the results. But it's specifically, ChatGPT is much more general function.
Oh, ChatGPT.
AI.
I'm working on a project. It's hilarious. I don't know, but I wanted to create an artificial language
Huh.
Okay.
because I have
Based on
my idea is what would demons and devils speak in hell?
Huh. Are you writing a book? Greg?
No, I was going to write it because I wanted to animate a video.
Okay.
And I wanted to have these devils speaking to each other, and then underneath just have the subtitles.
Huh. That's
And
interesting.
So I created all these funky rules that foreign languages have. Like there's a really great one in a lot of Native American languages, where if you say, I know something. You can't just say I know something. You have to say how you know it. Like, I know it because I touched it. I know it because I saw it. I know it because I deduced it. And so all these verbs in this demon have to do that. And then all these other weird pieces of grammar I'm just throwing together, and who knows if anyone could actually speak it, but it was actually, it really
It's amazing what you do when you're retired, isn't it?
Yeah. The thing is, the knowledge ChatGPT can give you of foreign languages, saying these are how other languages conjugate their verbs and under certain lots of information you can get out of ChatGPT.
So, but are you still working on the prompt for it?
No,
No,
it's a dead project.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We got some weird rules in English, haven't we? Loads and loads of rules. Let's go back to this. So, Heidi says the worst thing about Akatar is the prose dialogue, like the CW shows here in the US, Pretty Little Liars and the OC. That's probably why it's popular. Constance says hi, Constance.
Hey, Constance.
Yeah, blame Little Olive for the smut reads. Yeah, he always does. Speaking of Ralph, the Muppet tag has been a lot of fun. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, Greg's done my Muppet tag and Gavin's done it. Everyone in the chat should do it. Let's celebrate the Muppets.
I didn't do it yet.
I haven't done it yet.
I'll do it.
It'd be nice. Lots of people did the Jim Henson one, but it's funny because I wrote the tag all excited, and then I put it up, and I noticed that there were loads of other Muppet tags. So I was like, oh, clearly I'm not quite the original. Yeah, there's a few from about 7 years ago or something. How have you been? Dave, Lady Chatley was our buddy read. Oh, do you remember that? You read it with him,
Dave? That's right. That's right. You kept getting bored. I was like reading about myself part of the time because you didn't like it that much from what I remember. But then I think you ended up liking it at the end, right? You were having trouble getting through it, but then at the end you liked it. Is that right?
When we're over. Let's find out.
She said I loved it. Yeah. She said I loved it.
Oh, cool. Yeah. That's true.
Okay.
The point about Akatar is to support the fact that all her books are banned, though. It's crazy despite her writings. Yeah. I mean, that's why said let's read that one. I mean, it's very, very, very popular over here, so it's definitely not getting any damage over here. But clearly, is it Utah, isn't it? Then
Utah
they need help. Jenny's here.
Hey, Jenny.
Hey, Jenny.
On 2 speed, so we all sounded like chipmunks for a minute. Everyone's saying hi. Jenny in the house. Oops. Now proper chaos can begin. Dun, dun. So Jenny's got a god complex. Still know that line.
See that, Greg?
It's Dia.
She hasn't even read it, and she knows the line.
Hi, Dia.
Hey, Dia.
Actor sheltered Christian girl smut. That's why it keeps getting banned. The main thing about YA, I think, is that the young characters solve their problems without relying on adults. They save themselves. Okay.
All right.
It's Chris from
Hey, Chris.
Numerous Spaces.
Hey, Chris.
Hello, man. That's awesome. You need to be a guest on here, my friend.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I think Alan's trying to get Chris on my show.
Is he?
Uh-oh, should be fight now.
Yeah. It's the amount of times they've had someone and I've thought, God, I was just about to ask them, and it looks like I'm jumping on the back of their guests. So it's awkward, isn't it? It's awkward, Greg. Stop doing your show, mate. All right? It's making it difficult.
It's like
And
we're
you do-
different channels. It's like, I'm NBC in the United States. You're CBS.
Yeah.
We're competing for the.
Dave, is CBS a good one?
The
CBS
problem is you're on every week, so you keep everybody's interest, and we're like an every other week show.
No,
well, kind of. Although we might be
compete.
switching that up, and next week we might be on again.
Yeah.
We're taking a week off every month.
Oh yeah, you can change.
We are.
the schedule.
I told Alan I got to have a week off every month.
Yeah. Well, and you guys don't demand people bring biscuits, do you? So you're much nicer than we are.
I don't have biscuits.
I know. Yeah, he told me that earlier, Dave.
I even forgot to bring my biscuits over here. Yeah.
I don't know how to deal with that information.
I'll text you.
I've already been eating my biscuits. But anyway, Necroscope takes place during the Cold War in 1975. We have necromancers and a vampire Vlad Dracula origin story, but book 2 is called Vampire, and I heard it becomes extreme horror. Cool. Whoa, I showed up at just the right time. That was probably Greg taking the shirt off, wasn't it? Kat says could be eerie. Co-worker that recommended it to me is homeschooled by a preacher dad. I doubt he knows what this is. Wow. Okay. Oh yeah, she so Margaret's probably just replied to a message that I asked her earlier, and I'm busy now, so I can't look at your message on Voxer, but thank you for replying. Garborgus, best Garborgus name ever. Okay. That's what we were talking about. Gareth, think Brownie about your name. Yeah. I totally forgot. Elaine's been reading from the Brown Yelp Gang stuff, which is I'm so grateful. It's awesome. And I forgot there was a really rude joke in it. And then she sent me a message saying, "Did you mean to put that word in it?" And I thought, "Wow, did I?" And I had a look. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I did." Wow. How rude. Do we have our number one fan today?
You, Margaret. It's always you, Margaret.
Dave says that. It's me. Oh, yes,
I'm the problem. It's me.
Hi and hello to everyone in the chat. I thought MJ's been talking for ages at this point.
No, she's just saying hi to Diane and whoever else.
Yeah, and everyone else. That's fair. Elaine said, "Why don't guys ever have the junk on their covers?"
Junk on covers. What?
You can don't know. You can get some magazines for that sort of thing, Elaine, if you want to.
Well, I have to say on one of the covers for Rainer Likes It Rough, is Swamp Bachelor, and it's kind of got guy junk on there. I mean, you can't get real graphic on it, but
I
big hunky guy.
I mean, it could just be me, but based on the sequence of Elaine's comments, it sounds like she's angling for a particular cover for the Brown Yelp Gang sequel.
Oh,
you know,
is that what's going on?
I don't know. Well, maybe I'm imagining things.
Yeah, Rain Likes It Rough.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's
true.
one.
Yeah, it's a good one. There is some really good ones. I just went out and had such a day. Oh man.
All treats and snack and books galore. Wow, nice.
Negative. That's good. Sounds like
that sounds like the perfect day.
Treats, snacks, and books galore. Oh my. Kat, those those books would make a homeschooling preacher burst into flames.
Hmm.
No one wants to see that. Yeah, whoosh. We look for the detective books after claiming to skip so spicy scenes. Why would you microwave something like that? That's mad. Microwaves turn everything soft, doesn't it? I think that was the problem. Use an oven. I'm not a cook, but that's what I do. Yeah.
Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, I used to.
Yeah,
I used to. Yeah. I mean, that's not still on that show, right? You just
It's on Disney Plus over here now. Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, like the show is, they're not still putting out new episodes, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched it for a while. It was pretty good. Why do you ask, Margaret?
Yeah, she'll get there in a minute, I expect. That's just wrong. No, that meme with Tina saying, I would rather die from Bob's Burgers.
No, I don't remember that.
No, I don't remember it. Can't stand Tina.
Yeah. Louise is great.
Okay, so Elaine's saying she just doesn't want to just see ladies' parts.
Yeah.
Elaine, I just read a naughty romance, Long Arm number 13, I think it was. And I mentioned before, Long Arm on that cover is buck naked. You can't quite see it, but you can definitely see that he's running to cover his junk with his thigh, holding his rifle.
So you see his bum then?
That sounds like that's...
You see the side of his butt cheek.
Sounds like that's the book for you, Elaine.
It's buttocks. That's a good word, buttocks.
Your first Rocket Summer video, Greg.
There you go. That's cool. I've filmed mine, but it's going to be out in a few days. I wanted to put my Reagans and Rocket Ships one up first. But my vlog, which is 2 novels, 3 short stories, and a TV program, that's going to be up in a couple of days. Very excited.
Oh, I know what it is, but I won't say it.
Yeah, showed you, I think, didn't I? The chocolate was good, so I forced it down with ice cream. Excellent. Do a mug cake in the microwave. Stop using the microwave. Use an oven. I'll use that audio from Tina for someone. Okay. ChatGPT skit. Oh, they used it for someone's ChatGPT skit. I've been using Canva, which I think I learned. Oh, no, nice one. Yeah, I love Canva. I am having such a great time doing thumbnails. I love it. I think that's my favorite book of BookTube now. Thumbnails. Yeah, Canva's great. Do you use that? You too?
I use Canva, and I've been using ChatGPT for the past 2 Garbogust, or you see it on my most recent Garbogust announcement.
The thumbnail, or the books, or the books.
And you can do a lot. What I eventually I did 2 thumbnails. One was with me holding my plunger, and I took a picture of just me holding my plunger. Then I uploaded it to ChatGPT, and I said, insert me into this background picture. And then I said, insert a picture of a woman in a brown paper bag over her face, holding my hand. I showed it to my wife, and she did not like that photo at all.
Yeah.
Probably
well,
because
lots of people in the chat didn't either. They went, no.
For the record, Greg, I liked that one better for your Garbogust thumbnail, but so many people had shot it down already. I thought it was a lost cause.
It is.
Well, I felt embarrassed because I was the first one to comment. I said, yeah, do that one. And all the women in the chat were like, no. And I was like, oh, sorry.
I created it, and I was saying, I don't know. And that's eventually why I created a second one and say, okay, am I off the mark here? And yeah, I was, because
it was clearly very demeaning. But then Garbogust is
we are going to
be reading lots of demeaning books. I'm sure we will. So that's why I thought it was hilarious, because it was like blatantly Garbogust.
Yeah.
But yeah, clearly it crossed the line. I haven't seen that one, Margaret, but I can picture it. They'd speak the Desiree.
No, I think he's talking about my invented language in hell. Deus irae just means God's anger in Latin.
Yeah, because I think MJ's suggesting a backwards language because I just looked.
Oh, MJ, you know, in my language, you write from left to right, then right to left, then right to left. I read research. It says very few languages do that because it's extremely complicated to do that.
Yay to a fun day in new books. Absolutely. Add a dash extra of milk and microwave it for 20 seconds less. And it says, check the doneness. Full time came out for 2 dry for me. Oh, okay. When you mentioned artificial language, I immediately thought of Andy Kaufman's Latka. Yeah. I think
he just made his up on the spot.
Yeah.
Of just random syllables thrown together.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I love Taxi. And I think Andy Kaufman's fascinating. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Taxi. Love it. Can you believe there was a sitcom with Danny DeVito and Christopher Lloyd in at the same time in the early days? I know that Danny DeVito's been in Always Sunny in Philadelphia since, but I think that's just still mad that they're in that. How many new books did you end up getting today, Margaret? Yeah, how many new books? Oh, it's that idiot. Hold on, I'll just get rid of him. That person's just appeared. Hi, Chris Woot. Chris says, hello, Diane. 2 library, 4 used, 4 from LFL. LFL? Is that a free library?
Free library.
One of which will be gifted. Ah, cool.
Oh, what? Did we just have somebody crash the chat?
Yes. I've got this. I don't know if they're watching, but I've got 2 different YouTube channels that are basically harassing me, and it's really pissing me off. Every day I'm getting stupid comments. And I'm trying to get rid of them. Yeah, it's really annoying. It's the sort of thing, if they think it's a joke, I think they should understand it's adding stress to my day I don't need. So just piss off. Yeah, it's really annoying.
That's the first time that's happened to us, right?
Yes, first time it's happened to me, really. Yeah, and they're doing it on loads of my videos. If I post something, they'll just keep putting stupid comments up. So yeah, it's really annoying.
Hey, there's a hobby for everyone, I guess. Huh?
I guess.
Yeah. But it worries me because I think it's something connected to it might be something connected to either my students or my ex-students, and I don't want this interfering with my job. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I worry about. But talking about buying books, I bought some more. I found some more Garb August books. So I'm going to do a video around when Garb August starts about the James Patterson Zoo book because I've got that from the library, and that's not on my announcement video. And I'm going to show these other ones I got, and they're quite mad actually. One of them's hilarious. One of them's going to be so bad.
I might need to get, if we have time, I might need to get some advice from you guys on Garb August because I got a lot of different things.
Yeah, that'd be cool. If we've got time.
Well, Greg gets tired, you know. I don't know.
You're gonna need to get some. Have you got some energy drinks, Greg?
I do not have energy. I have my sweet tea, which is not an energy drink. I do have some spiced rum upstairs. If we could go on for a while, I may take a big.
For it. Have some rum.
Have some rum.
I say break out the spiced rum now, man. Rage.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
I hope you're okay, Rage. I hope you're doing well. I like the way a certain host from England says Utah. Utah? Is that wrong? Utah? How am I supposed to say Utah? I think
you said it right.
Yeah, Greg. Utah. Your turn.
Well, no, I hear it now. I hear what he's saying. Yeah, you do kind of say Utah. I'm exaggerating, but you say you have that like a on it. Utah.
Well, I don't do the curled R, or I do it.
No, but there's a little bit of, I hear a little bit of an R in there when you say it.
Oh, Utah.
A little bit of the R, not much.
Yeah.
I thought Lady Chatterley was really poorly written. Yeah, I'd read Women in Love and loved it. Okay.
What's Women in Love? Is that also
That's
Lawrence?
another D.H. Lawrence. Yeah, yeah. I've
Okay.
got a graphic novel version of Lady Chatterley's Lover by Hunt Emerson.
Oh, is it
yeah.
is it racy?
Yeah, well, he used to draw for the adult mags as well. He used to draw cartoon strips for the adult mags as well. Yeah, he's quite used to that kind of thing, I suppose.
I just thought that was another thing about the book that I didn't like. Like, I just thought those scenes were weird. That was like weird things that they were doing. You know what I mean? It was like wasn't even sexy. You know, it's like weird.
Maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's
I guess. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. Nice score, Margaret. Yeah, no, absolutely. That was great.
That sounds like a good haul, Margaret.
I'd love. Hey, Chris, would love to be a guest. That is.
All right, we got it first, Greg. You're gonna have to wait
on both your shows.
He said it. He might already be scheduled with Alan. I got to check. I don't know. I don't pay attention.
No.
If me and Al stand in opposite sides of the room and we call his name and he's in the middle, we'll see which one he goes to. Yeah. We do that.
You know, I'll go with that. I don't do the scheduling. Alan does the scheduling. I just host.
Sold back 14.
14.
Wow. I'll tell you what, I've got two boxes of books there that I'm selling to World of Books, and there's about 30 books in there. So I'm going to get 46 quid for those, which is good. So yeah, much needed unhaul. I need to try and do some more as well. Jenny says, Margaret, I hate you. I've watched KPDH 3 bloody times and can't get enough of the soundtrack. KPDH.
What's that?
KPDH. Don't know. I know. Not only is our guest let me down,
I know,
but my bloody co-host has let me down. What the
I
hell?
was Russian. I forgot. I have, well, because I don't have to go get them because I have a whole bag because somebody from the UK very nicely brought me a whole bag. So I didn't have to go buy them. So I just forgot to bring it in here. I mean, they're over there in the closet.
Whatever, mate. Oh, hold on. No biscuits. This show is falling apart. I know. What's going on? Someday I'll talk Alan Reads to host a live stream with me. Yeah, Alan and Greg, not Alan and Greg. That would be awesome. I'll tell you what, I don't know, because this is a thing. I think that live streams where there's two friends doing it, like obviously with you and Al and us, and I've seen loads of people do it. It's just nice to bounce off each other, innit? Like if you have live streams just on your own, you're reading the comments, you can bounce off the comments, but it's not the same, is it? I think you know, Greg's absolutely right. Greg is absolutely right. That if he does get into that sort of thing, that'd be lovely. Be cool. Yeah. Ray G, you forgot biscuits. What has the world come? I know. It's just
he didn't remind me. My chat, he said, bring biscuits.
Look, I made sure I had clothes on. Yeah, you bring the biscuits. That's...
Sour worms, mushroom jerky. I never heard of mushroom jerky.
I never heard of mushroom jerky either.
Second best tortilla chips in the world.
And everything croissant with cream cheese. Quite the haul.
An everything croissant. That's like an everything bagel, but a croissant.
Is sour worms like candy? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds disgusting.
We have like sour everything here. Do you not have sour everything over there?
What, candy wise, like sweets? Yeah, no, no, we do have that stuff. Ali likes that stuff. I'm not into that kind of thing. I am every week, no biscuits, but sometimes cake. I know.
Oh my God.
People are shocked.
All right.
Hey,
I've learned my lesson. Hey, Pat.
Could you look up how often we've forgotten biscuits? No, I'm joking. Don't do that. Don't do that, Pat. Pat says hi. No, people are saying Pat to hi. Hi to Pat. Mushroom jerky. Yeah, mushroom jerky. What the hell? Yes, this has not made it to Texas, Brian, she says. I like my jerky spicy beef.
I don't like mushrooms. I like spicy beef jerky too.
Yeah.
My wife got me some ghost pepper.
I'm funny with mushrooms.
That was like really hot.
Ghost pepper beef jerky?
Yes.
Wow.
It was just beef jerky, sprinkled with ghost pepper. And it was like,
I would imagine.
Ghost pepper.
That's
That,
like super hot.
It is super hot.
That's like when they have like hot eating competitions. That's like one of the
It's
like
not
upper.
top.
That's one of the final
No,
levels. Is like the
it's one
ghost
of-
pepper.
it's at the top.
Can I just say, MJ's chatting in the Garborgus Voxer chat. She's not concentrating.
Oh
So,
my
yeah.
goodness!
So if you're listening to this as well, then you need to focus, mate. If it's made it to Texas, I'd avoid it. It's barbecue flavored, so good. Dave, you're imagining things. Lady Big Boobs.
But guys rarely. Wait, what? What's that
Lady
reference
Big Boobs,
to?
but guys
The
rarely.
cover is that she's not. You're not showing the man junk on the cover.
Oh yeah. About her wanting your her trying to direct
I
your
would
next
agree.
your next cover.
Guys rarely have big boobs. I agree. Cookies are supposed to be soft. No, they're not.
Yes, they are. They're
no,
supposed to be
they're not.
chewy. Ooey gooey, rich
Jesus
and chewy.
Christ. That's why Trump got in.
I fully agree
cookies
with.
Are supposed to be soft. Don't like. Oh Jesus! Let's just move on.
I fully agree with everything in this comment, Kat. Just for the record.
But microwaving them seems like they'd skip chewy and just go rubbery. It's supposed to be chewy. Sacrilege, Margaret. Supposed to have a crunch. I am going to celebrate the crunch of a biscuit. You wouldn't see Paul Hollywood talking about soft biscuits on the Great British Bake Off, would you?
Wait, you didn't even show us though. What do you got there?
Dave, what's the point, mate? What's the point? Yeah, you don't give a shit about biscuits anymore. What's the point? Yeah, you just totally destroyed one of the elements of our show and said the whole thing is pointless.
I'm sorry.
S'mores are fun in the microwave. Marshmallows. It's good for the planet, Brian. Good for hot chocolate, not Rice Krispie treats. Okay. James caught up. Mug cakes are great when you just want a little bit because you aren't supposed to be having sugar. It's too dang hot to have my oven on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
is it really
true.
hot over there, Garrett?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I said that to MJ once, and she said that's not hot, but it is hot. I've had 3 tops on today. I've had and a fair amount of the day without anything on. But when I've had to take the top off because it was wringing wet. It was like literally dripping. So I'd suggest that was probably hot. And I've got a shirt on because it seems to be better at handling it than a t-shirt. But I don't like wearing shirts. I'm a t-shirt man myself.
It must be pretty hot down by you, right, Greg?
Yeah, it was in the 80s today, but not. It's been hotter. But it's. Yeah. I have my house and it's cool, so I don't go out that often. But when I do, I sweat like a pig just walking to the mailbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking this up, and your houses are cool, and our houses are hot. Aren't they? They're built to be hot, so they retain the heat and make it worse. Apparently, that's the problem.
In your country generally, or because you're on the coast?
No, in general, because the climate used to be much. Well, I say that certainly for most of the year, it's a lot cooler, isn't it? We are regularly getting a very hot summer now, and when I was a kid, we used to get hot summers. But yeah, summer now is very hot pretty much every year now. I mean. I remember, what was it, about 4 years ago when it was in the 40s, and that was just that was ridiculous. So I don't know what 40 is. Alexa, what's 40 degrees centigrade in Fahrenheit?
40 degrees Celsius is 104 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, so I remember that year was crazy. But I think it'll be like that this year, to be fair, because it's getting into that it's getting into the 30s. But anyway. Enough of that. Yes, Jenny. No more squirrel voices.
She was watching us at double speed.
Yes. I like the idea that I don't know what that means. That's even funnier. But we love the chipmunk voice. Absolutely. I love to hear a Scot say squirrel. Squirrel. Yeah. Okay. I miss a chipmunk, Gareth. When I had dodgy sound. Well, Dave doesn't because it literally gave him earache. What did Mummy Tomato say to the baby tomato? Here we go. We got a joke. And then Brian knows the punchline. The planet's just going to have to get along without me eating mushroom jerky.
Ah!
I can do that in the chat.
If I saw mushroom jerky for sale, I'd buy a small package and try it. I don't know if I'd like it, but I'd try it.
I have a very funny relationship with mushrooms. Sometimes I like them, sometimes I do. The actual punchline is coming up.
I skipped it. Ketchup. That's funny.
I know, I like that joke. I knew that wasn't the punchline.
I wonder if they have magic mushroom jerky. I'm saying
I'm
sure they do.
Mushroom jerky, yeah. They have magic mushroom.
I don't know what the cape. I mean, Deus Eris is part of the Latin Requiem Mass.
Yeah,
that's all I know it from.
It's one of the kind of parts of it, isn't it? Obviously, you can have different versions of that.
Well, the Mass comes in different parts. Deus Eris is just part of it. That's all. That's all I know. But
it's part of the structure.
Stuff that's beyond me.
Oh, is Margaret? Margaret, you into K-pop? Margaret into K-pop?
Yeah, clearly kept me in. Margaret is into K-pop. That's interesting, isn't it? I should do a video with Crystal from Fiber Artsy about it.
I was just gonna say, I love. It's so cute watching her. She's so into the K-pop.
My daughter went to a K-pop gig last week. She went to see where were they? I can't remember. One of the big K-pop bands. She went to see them last week, and she loved. She was really excited about it in London. They were playing in London.
I don't think I've heard any K-pop.
It's pop music in Korean.
I mean, that's a little bit shocking, Greg, honestly, because I would have pegged you for a
K-pop person.
Yeah, you could tell from what you said in the song tag. It's like, oh, clearly, it's a very short leap from Mozart and Beethoven to K-pop. Read about trashy people, but maybe don't cosplay as them. Oh, read about trashy people, but don't cosplay as them. Okay. Good advice. Sounds like something off a Laffy Taffy rapper. So at any point, do Garb August participants have to do good to counteract the demeaningness that... Hold on a minute. At any point, do Garb August participants have to do good to counteract the demeaningness that they are all...
Imbibe?
For all the demeaningness that they imbibe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Imbibe. Like sign a petition for the ERA. I think we are all very angelic in other ways. And we make up for it. We'd always do good for the community, and we go out during August and help ladies across the road and old ladies across the road. I think younger ladies can do it themselves. Block and report. Well, yeah, they just tried to put up another comment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is really annoying. I don't understand why they do it, because I've got a feeling it's someone that knows me, which is even worse. Oh, okay. So Jenny's read the Zoo books. Tell us what you thought. Block them. Yeah. Destroy them. I'm reading 5 books again, and my favorite at the moment is The Case of the Deadly Butter Chicken. A great detective in Delhi. Love the dialogue. The Case of the Deadly Butter Chicken. I definitely want to read that.
Now I'm going to want to go eat some Indian food.
Yeah. I nearly had it. I'm probably going to have a takeaway this weekend, actually. Yeah. Go on.
That sounds weirdly intriguing.
Yeah. Deadly Butter Chicken. I love it. Is it just sweet tea?
Is she talking about me drinking this?
I think so.
This is just sweet tea. I don't have my spice room is usually a little before bed to help me get ready to sleep.
What was at the bottom of that? There was something weird at the bottom of that mug. Never mind. William's here.
Hey, William.
Hey, William.
Hi, William. You have a troll, yes. Hide them from the channel. No one else can see it but them, so it isn't a block, and that's hilarious. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. But it's just hassle I don't need, isn't it? You had rum on Monday.
Was it Monday? I think I had rum on one of my recent shows with the Sweet Tea. It might have been the show with you on it. Don't remember.
Yeah, maybe. And I was going on the Attack Cat. Making them talk themselves into a void. No one in the ultimate vengeance. Like feeding people to polar bears. Like feeding people to polar bears. How are you feeling, Nicole? Yeah. Nicole's put up a few posts that.
Yeah.
Oh,
make me worry
yeah.
about. She's not having a good time. It's K-pop demon hunters. How did they skip my comment with the answer? Don't know. I'm trying to do it in order.
I don't know.
I apologize if I.
All I can say is it's easy to skip comments in these live shows.
Thanks, mate.
It is. It's nothing personal.
Well, also I keep
it.
rereading stuff because when I first looked at that, I thought that Nicole was saying she's 70% butter, which I hope that amused you, Nicole. Made you smile.
She's 70% butter chicken, right? Sorry, Nicole. I don't mean to make fun of you.
I don't sound as bad. That's good. Are you wearing your pants? Please keep the proof below screen. Yeah, absolutely. Don't worry, I will. And I am wearing pants in both definitions of the word pants. I'm off the clock tonight. No research plans for me. I'm rattling through these and I'm still that far behind. That's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're not far behind.
Oh, that's good. Ghost peppers are supposed to be killer. Yeah, sounds like it. I'll put a link to the Mushroom Jerky Company for all the obviously silent majority salivating over here, but no wrench. Do it. Do a special video on it, Margaret. Do it in your next live stream. I'm talking about fundraising. Oh, what was that about?
Probably talking in Garbogist.
Oh, yeah. She's, I was saying she's on the chat. So I'm only joking. I've seen guys with bigger boobs than me.
Do not post any pictures of the guy boobs, please.
But can they belly dance? No, Jenny, no. That's the whole point, wasn't it? They had to avoid soggy bottoms because usually not Paul, but what's the face? The first presenter would go, we don't want to see soggy bottoms. Not on a book cover. No soggy bottoms on a book cover. 80 degrees is there hot. Yes. Well, you come over here and live in this condition. Soggy bottoms sounds like a medical condition. Some cookies are meant to be soft, some tender. I mean, because that is a genuine point that when I was, it was hotter in LA when I went there, and it was lovely. It's not about the heat; it's just the different humidity or whatever, humidity and stuff like that. When I went to Thailand, it was glorious, but it was definitely hotter. But it was beautiful. It was lovely. So it's not that people over here don't want heat. It's just different kind of heat, isn't it? When I went to Spain, it was lovely as well, and that was really hot. So. I love hot weather. Actually, and I don't mind this weather. I just have to take my clothes off.
You have to.
I like it. I like it.
No choice.
It's not great to go to work in it and try and get my students to work in it. Jesus Christ! And they go, "It's too hot. Can't do anything, Gary." It's like I'm only asking you to play the drums for 3 minutes. Depends where you are. Yeah, fair enough. That's what I've heard is the difference anyway. And certainly, like I said, I've traveled a bit now, and I can definitely tell you that I like it. I like hot climates. I love it. And if I go anywhere, I'd rather go to somewhere hot. Yeah.
595 here today. Yo, whoa.
Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's talking about the mushroom jerky.
Right. They use a religious song for the demon song. This is still about the demon hunter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds like the only possible mushroom for that blasphemous version of jerky. Who would have pegged whom? Gossip OST. You want to peg him now? And they call us 30. K-pop is pretty smooth, ultra produced. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the poppiest of pop. I always have to deconstruct the word pop music to my students every year because they think it's a useful term in a course about popular music, and obviously that doesn't work because academically popular music means everything from Slipknot to B.B. King to Dave Brubeck. That's pop music according to academic studies. So it doesn't help to just go, I like pop music, or can we do some pop music? Doesn't work.
Yeah.
Great for exercises, great beats. K-pop is great for exercises. Your new favorite thing, Mark? Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Butter chicken is heavy. Yeah, butter chicken is lovely.
Butter chicken's good.
The author is Tarquin Hall. If you want to find the Indian detective series, okay, cool. Tarquin Hall. Tarquin's a very English name. Is he a posh English person, or is he an Indian person? Maybe Indian, British Indian, maybe.
I should write that down.
Quite enjoyed the zoo books. Okay, not enough animal attacks for my liking. Oh, okay, so it's a bit tame. It's such a mood lift, right? Yeah. K-pop. I'll definitely see the attraction.
Look at Xanax.
The first season. Did the poor animals go hungry for lack of You won't get out of my head. It's
so the show is based on that book?
What, the series?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, okay. How long is the book?
It's not very big. I've got the hardback, and it's like big type, and it's only like, I reckon it's about 350 pages or something, and that's like big hardback, big type,
Okay.
It doesn't seem like a long read, because I wouldn't have got involved, because things like book events, I can't really do big books. It'll take up the whole month, so I don't read fast enough. So it's like I really wanted to read Grapes of Wrath, because everyone was reading it, and I was involved in the Steinbeck thing, but it would have meant I didn't read anything else, so I couldn't do it. I need to do it, but I couldn't do it that month. Same with East of Eden. You're reading East of Eden at the moment, aren't you, Greg?
Pardon me?
He's zoned off. We've bored our guest. No, East of Eden. You're reading East of Eden now, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm about chapter 16, 17 in East of Eden.
Yeah. You love it?
I do. I think East of Eden is going to be the better constructed book, novelistically. But I still think Grapes of Wrath has the potential of being on the better book, impact-wise.
Right. Yeah. So more of an emotional punch.
Right.
Yeah.
But they have some great characters in East of Eden. I mean, Kathy is such a despicable character. But she's despicable in the way that you love to read about her, because she's just so mean and nasty.
Yeah. That's cool. I need to get to him. Hit the thingy. I think that might be hit the like button, is it?
I think so.
Cool. Yeah, do that. I've avoided it so far. Ben's attempt to get me to watch it fail. That's probably the zoo thing, isn't it? I would get rid of that butter real fast. My tummy says no, man. So he's talking about not being 70% butter. It's really good, Cat, but getting it out of your head is hard. That's K-pop. Butter is amazing. It's a bit better, though. I had a lovely breakdown last night. Oh, no. I'm redoing my thumbnails again, because why not? Yeah, absolutely. Making thumbnails is fun.
It is.
I hope you have a much better week next week.
Yeah.
Why would I want to? My head is good at getting rid of stuff, unless it's unimportant. Yeah, my head is good at getting rid of stuff that is important. It's a hard life.
I think that's what she was saying.
This is still more K-pop. I've been blasting it from the car. Supportive hand gestures. Dump sticker on it. Humidity is the worst. I got spoiled with desert summers. 85 and I wasn't dying. Now 70s is still have to go. Yeah, I mean it's if your t-shirts are wringing wet after a couple of hours, it's humid. Tarquin is a Brit. It's definitely a very British name. Married to an Indian. I have no idea what the Zoo series is talking about. So Zoo is the group read for Garb August. It's written by James Patterson and another guy. And notoriously, James Patterson now writes by committee. Apparently, he doesn't even necessarily write the books.
My guess is he gave some ideas for the book, like high level. Go to town.
What a racket, right?
Yeah,
unbelievable.
There must be. There can't be many like that. That have that such success that they can become like a company themselves. You know, like James Patterson Inc.
Have you ever read any of his early books?
The only thing I've read with his name on it is that one that I read last year with Dolly Parton, that he did with Dolly Parton.
I've read some of his early, I guess they're police procedural novels, I guess, mystery, and they were fine. They weren't anything special. The only thing that I really liked about it is that they were set in Washington, D.C., which is my name for my home city. And I kind of like that. But other than that,
yeah, they took off, I guess, didn't they? They're really popular.
They did, and then somehow he turned that into this industry of just pumping out books.
Mm. Yeah, because I suppose creatives aren't always good businessmen. That's kind of a cliche, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he was both. Maybe he's a good businessman as well. So he managed to capitalize on it.
And I mean, he made enough off of those. Just a couple were movies, right?
They did. Oh God, who was he? Morgan Freeman was the.
Along Came a Spider, wasn't it? I think that was James Patterson.
Along Came a Spider. I think that's his first book.
Is it?
I think so. Or an early one in the series.
If I carried on guessing, I'd probably say some John Grisham ones. So I'm not going to guess anymore. Margaret says, I'm reading East of Eden, which was originally meant to be a buddy read with me. Yeah, I've had to abandon the big books. I'm not reading No, I'll tell you what. In a minute, when we talk about books, I am reading something that feels.
Oh yeah, it's a show about books, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, we never get to books till right at the end. Especially with everyone chatting, which is nice. It's nice everyone chatting. But there's a book that feels big. It's not even that big, but I know it's going to take me a while. So a book that's twice the size of that is going to be something I just won't be able to read yet. So I'm sorry, Margaret. I would love to have read it with you, and clearly you don't have the patience to wait. That's fine.
Yeah. This is why I don't even start big books. I don't even pretend I'm going to read them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we got some big Adrian Tchaikovsky ones we want to read as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
So that's going.
Well, we have a little Adrian Tchaikovsky one we got to read.
Saturation Point. Yeah. The TV show came out a few years ago. They went into far more detail than the books did. Okay. I'm on chapter 15. It's
East of Eden. I think she's in chapter 4 of East.
I reckon she's trying to say something.
I think she means eh.
She's
not liking East of Eden.
Yeah.
It's about a zoo where the animals attack the people. What? East of Eden? I despise reading despicable characters. No, animals are evolving and fighting back against humanity. Spank that like button. Naughty language. That's a better premise. You all should have eaten lots of frozen grapes while trying to read that book and drank lovely wine. Love it. That sounds like Hot Ticket. Not K-pop, Gareth. K-pop Demon Hunter. It's a film. Right. Okay, I didn't know it was a film. That is totally. We're chatting away about K-pop, and it's a film.
I know. So it's starting to sound like this K-pop Demon Hunter doesn't have anything to do with what we know as K-pop.
Unless K-pop is part of the plot, so maybe
I don't know.
He's in a K-pop band, but he hunts demons.
I don't know. What's she reprimanding us for then? I don't
know. She just likes it. She likes it, man. It's animated. It's Olive. Someone's seen Olive.
Oh, she popped in, right? You popped in.
It would have helped. This is a challenging book to get through. So, East of Eden or Zoo. I heard Alex Cross books were good, but there's some kind of voodoo deal with the devil going on now. Oh, okay. He does well as well, doesn't he?
Margaret wants to talk about books.
Yeah. Books.
Tell us what those books you picked up are, Margaret.
Yeah.
Garrett's almost caught up.
We're almost we're almost going to talk about books. So I have got loads to talk about, actually. So hopefully that'll be interesting. We normally, Greg, just to let you know, normally the numbers drop like mad when we start talking about books.
Oh,
So, yeah. So we enjoy the audience while it's here. I believe overtaken by events is the phrase for it, Gareth, because we were the seed for it. Yes. No, we were. I am the seed, Dave. I am the seed. She. Margaret's reading She by H. Rider
Haggard. Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
I'm joking. I know she isn't, but clearly I'm just saying that something about her writing She. Don't assume. She's talking to me. Is she? Don't assume. Or she's talking about someone else. What are we talking about? I'm
totally confused now. Do you understand what's going on, Greg?
No.
I don't understand. Books. No Grapes of Wrath. Well, not for me, but soon. I am going to get to go. I'm a big Steinbeck fan, but so far I've read, I think, 6 books, but they're all the smaller ones. So I haven't read the 2 big ones, but I love him much. And I have got this on my radar.
Sweet Thursday.
Yeah, this is the sequel to Cannery Row, set in the same kind of world, and I love Cannery Row.
Because the cover looks kind of trashy.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's kind of evocative of the this, for me, like the small town kind of ruralish Steinbeck setting. So I think that's what's happening. I don't think it's particularly lurid cover. I think she's just chilling out. I don't think she's going, "Ooh, look how sexy I am." I think she's just chilling out. But yeah, that is on my radar. But should we start by saying what we are currently reading, all 3 of us, and then we could talk about what we are possibly going to read, and then we'll address that thing that Carl said about
let's do it.
Books that are intimidating or that you want to put off, and we'll see what people say in the chat as well.
All right.
So Dave, what are you reading at the moment?
What am I reading at the moment? I am still reading some. I'm still going through this slowly.
Oh wow.
Okay. I like that series.
I told you I started this, right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. You read the series, Greg?
I read the whole series, yeah.
Oh.
I listened to the audiobooks, but the same thing.
Okay.
Can I just say, we just started talking about books, and already people are saying goodbye. Go on, carry on.
Did you read the Children of Time series, Greg?
I've read Children of Time, the first one.
Okay.
I have Children of Ruin on my audiobook lineup probably for next month.
That's interesting that you read the whole. So you read the whole architecture series first. Okay. Yeah. What did you think?
What happened was I had originally read Children of Time, and when I first read it, it was a standalone.
Oh.
And I never went on. And then I guess a couple years later, he came out with the Children of Ruin, and I didn't pick it up. And then what happened, I think it was, is that Audible was saying you can buy 2 books for the price of 1, and that was one of the choices that you can get for free. I picked up the first one, and I really liked it. So then I just continued with the rest of the series, and I don't like it, or it's not as powerful as Children of Time, but it's more space opera than Children of Time. You know what I'm saying? It's like more adventure than, and Children of Time was more cerebral than.
Yeah, but it's definitely worth reading all 3 books.
I like. First of all, it's one of those where it ends, and it's not really the end of the story. So,
oh, really?
Well, Children of Time has a definite ending. It's the end of the story. And in Shards of Earth, there's more coming. It's not.
Okay.
It's really like a big book in 3 volumes.
What are the 3 books called? You got Shards of Earth. What are the other 2 called?
Shards of the Earth, I forgot.
I think Into the Void.
And something like that.
And then I don't remember the last one.
You just look it up on your bookstore, and you'll be able to.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I got interested in the characters. How far along, Dave, are you?
I'm about a third of the way through, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not a spoiler because nobody knows what I'm talking about. Their ship got taken.
So have you had one character die already?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but
No.
yeah. So, and then I'm reading. Did I bring the other? Oh, this one. So I was reading this one. It's a short little book. Actually, Dia sent me this book. This different book. The Practice, the Horizon, and the Chain.
Who's that by?
It's named Sophia Samatar. She's written a number of books, but I hadn't heard of her before, and I never heard of this book before. The only reason I'm reading it is because Dia sent it, and it's a pretty recent one, but it's more of like I don't know, it's more of like I want to say literary sort of thing, but it's like it's a sci-fi setting, and it's about this. So they're on a mining ship, and our main character, there's this boy, and he's like works in the hold of the mining ship, and that's what the chain is a reference to. They're all like chained together, like a chain gang on this space mining ship. But he gets brought up to like the upper levels, and he works with some professor that is at the upper levels, but she has some family history from the lower levels, and so they kind of helping each other find their way, sort of thing. You know what I mean? So
that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. It's very different. It's not like an action-packed story or anything. You know what I mean? It's just kind of a meditative sort of story. So I mean, that's pretty much it. I had the couple other things I've like started like a month ago that I just barely have gotten anywhere through them yet. So those are the only two that I was like actively reading. But
what about you, Greg?
All right, I picked up this book yesterday. It came in from the library. I hadn't wanted to read it this month, but I know you loved Holly.
Yeah, I really loved it. I thought it was brilliant.
I'm about 130 pages into it, and it's like 430 pages. So this is Stephen King. I think he's trying to do an authentic mystery. I mean, have Holly really be the detective that she's supposed to be, and not have any of these supernatural shapeshifters or cannibalistic, just making it.
Okay.
Now, my one criticism so far is that character viewpoints, there's more than one. You have Holly and some other people, and I'm saying I really want more Holly.
Right. And
obviously, for the story to work, he's got to show other.
Yeah. He's probably doing it for a reason.
Yeah, it's there for a reason, and I'm slowly picking it up. But
he knows what he's doing.
But the thing is, I read all the other 6 Holly books, and I've really gotten to know this character and her character progress. And that's one thing Stephen King does, is he really does characters very well. Yeah. And I've gotten very much attached to her. And I'm saying, come on, Holly, do more. Well, we'll see. Yeah. I expect she'll pick up later in the book, because when we read the first book in the series, Mr. Mercedes, she really wasn't part of the book until halfway.
No. She was in like a couple chapters.
She was supposed to be a secondary character that, right about, excuse me, and then sort of throw away,
So when do you think you'll finish that?
I have to finish this pretty soon, because this is taking space from Rocket Summer. Right, yeah. I had to jettison a Rocket Summer book I was going to read, because this came into the library, and it's only a 2-week. I mean, our library only does 2 weeks, so wow. I can read it. I'll probably finish this. What's today? Thursday, Sunday, maybe Saturday. Cool. Depending if I make a video, then days I make videos, I don't get a lot of reading done. You got to record it and edit it. So it's like, there goes 4 hours out of my day, Yeah. So
I nearly bought it a few days ago, but then I just came to the conclusion that I'm probably not going to read it yet.
You wait.
By the time it comes out, it'll be on paper.
So far, based on the first 130, I'm liking it well enough, but it's not going to be Holly or the other one. Yeah. And I'm going to hold up one book. I actually listened to the audiobook version, but Gareth, you'll like this one.
Oh, yeah, fantastic book.
It is a good book. This was a reread for me.
Yeah.
John Wyndham is a very understated writer.
Yeah.
His plots, there's stuff going on, but you don't often realize just how complicated things are. The background.
Yeah, it's got a very simple way of delivering it.
Very simple way. And what I like about this book is, I'll just say that the children character, I guess they're supposed to be the villains.
Yeah.
But there was one quote when one of the children was saying, "What else do you want us to do?"
Yeah.
You know, it's like we have to do what we're doing to defend ourselves.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, well, yeah, I guess you do, sort of. So that's part of what John Wyndham does very well is
it's a bit of nuance.
It is, because you can't really hate them. They're not really doing anything too bad. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. What I love about that as well, because I think this doesn't happen that often, it sets up something that you think, how are they going to get over this? This is really like a difficult thing to overcome. And then it's got a great ending. So it's like, some authors might set something up and then they just...
The ending did show up rather quickly, but he did set it up.
Yeah, he set it up.
He described other incidents and said, oh, okay, well, that's kind of what they're going to do. But how it actually went down was a bit different than I thought.
Yeah, it requires a character to do something you wouldn't expect them to do.
Right.
Which I think is brilliant. So yeah, awesome. That's a great choice.
And a little bit ahead of Rocket Summer on my audiobooks, because for Rocket Summer, I'm doing one audiobook, one book, and one or two short stories every month. So
yeah,
I'm a little bit ahead on Rocket Summer audiobooks.
Oh, okay. So what Midwich Cuckoos is an audiobook, did you say?
Yeah.
Who's reading it?
What?
Who's reading it?
The guy who does the Sherlock Holmes is so great. Stephen Fry.
Stephen Fry?
Yes.
Oh wow. That's cool. I love the fact you just described one of the most famous people in Britain as the guy who does Sherlock Holmes. He's like a megastar over here. So that's interesting. Yeah, he's like, really big personality.
He did the audiobook narration of Sherlock Holmes, and he did such a great job with the Sherlock Holmes narration.
He's got an amazing voice. When my friend, everyone can go to this when after I've said this, when my friend did an audio version of my Ethel Pinchworthy story, which is on my channel, I literally described her as a female Stephen Fry. It was just a perfect reading, and it was just like, she's got a great voice. And I was like hearing a female Stephen Fry and reading it. What I've been doing, I've been buddy reading some stories from here with Pat.
Yeah.
So that's been really good. And we've picked some out for the whole month. So I'm on track with those. And I did read War of the Worlds, and I read Brave New World. So that's really cool. So those things are going to be taking up my first Rocket Summer vlog. But I also started 2 books that I'm going to I'll definitely finish one of them, but I might finish the other one as well before I carry on with Rocket Summer. I'm not sure, because this one's for me, it's quite a slower read. The Secret History of Donald Tuck.
It's a good book. It's a good book, though.
Yeah. I was really enjoying it, and it was really funny because I wanted to read it before Rocket Summer started. So I started it a while back, and then I thought, I can't really. If I carry on with this, it'll end up like the middle of the month before I've even started Rocket Summer. So I want to get back into it, read it in between little bits, but it grabbed me straight away. I thought it was really, like, the way that it's written is really compelling. So I was well impressed. Go on.
Go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
Well, I was thinking I don't really necessarily read this sort of thing very much. So I'm reading it because someone recommended it. And I'm really enjoying it. So it's a bit out of my comfort zone, I'd say, possibly.
So I was going to say, I believe that I think it was last time we talked about this a little bit. It sounded really intriguing to me, and I already forget what it was about. So can you give me the synopsis?
It's funny actually, because I haven't even put a bookmark in it. I have to find where it was, but I think I've read about 30 pages, and it seems to me a bit like a Dead Poet Society kind of thing.
Okay.
So I think it's going to become that sort of thing with a teacher who takes his students on the particular kind of controversial road. I think that's what I'm getting so far. So yeah.
Well, Greg, you read it.
I did.
Is that right?
I'm going to cut Gareth off and have you supplement his explanation.
Essentially, this takes place in a fictional college in New England.
Oh, he's probably going for it. Fair enough.
It's actually Bennington College. That's where Donna Tartt went to college.
Okay.
I actually applied to go to Bennington College the same year Donna Tartt did, but I was not nearly smart enough to get into Bennington College because it's for really rich kids and really smart kids, and I was neither rich nor smart. But so essentially, there's a student that goes there. He's actually on a scholarship, so he's one of those rare people that's not rich. And there's this exclusive teacher that teaches ancient Greek. And he has a program where he teaches the students every class they're going to take in the college. It's very unique. And when it starts off, there are five kids that he teaches. And then this other student comes in, and he's a scholarship student, and he joins this exclusive sort of club. And let's just say, right away that one of the students is going to get murdered.
Oh, whoa. And actually, Gareth, right. It's in the beginning. It's in the intro.
It's the first sentence of the book. I'm not spoiling anything. First sentence. And it's all about their relationships and the secrets that they had to do and how they had to keep this murder secret and so forth. And just... they have some really strange relationships in this book.
But I'll tell you what, Greg, just bouncing off that, I remember the bit where, like, you read the prologue where the character's murdered or they're talking about that. And then later on, when that character comes into it, they mention their name. Oh, and then I met Milo, or whatever the name is. And I was like, oh, and you kind of like, you immediately, what's going to happen with that character. And that was just so well done because it was really like just a passing comment. She didn't make a big deal out of the fact that that person that was in that prologue is now in the plot.
Right.
I thought that was really good.
But no, she's a brilliant author. She writes one book every decade. I think she's overdue for the. I think it's been 10 years since she published The Goldfinch. So she's due if she continues to write. Has she announced
anything?
I have not heard anything. I don't follow her that closely.
Yeah. I've heard that Claire North's about to release a new one. I follow her. She's one of my favorite authors. She's releasing something new soon. So the other one I'm reading, and this is a completely different thing, totally on the other end of the scale, but I have got a bookmark here. I know where I am with this, and I'll probably finish this in the next 24 hours. This is Christopher Faust.
No.
Money Shot. So it's a very rude cover. It's
I love that
very
cover.
Rude. It's a very rude book, and I read the previous one. Well, actually, this is the previous.
This
one.
is her first.
That's
her first book.
Yeah, this is the first book, but I read Chokehold first.
Okay.
Which is a follow-on from this, and then I bought the third one recently as well. I just think when I read Chokehold, it was one of the most thrilling books I'd read for a long time. It was like it just grabbed you by the scruff of the neck and took you on this ride. And the same thing is, she starts off the first paragraph. She's in the back of a trunk of a car, all tied up, and she's like, "This really pisses me off." It's like first person thing, and she's really sarky. It's brilliant. So, hard-case crime novel that's a lot of fun. It's not deep, but it's brilliant.
I have all the series right there.
Can you give us the non-spoiler summary, or do I need to go to Greg for this?
I don't remember. Yeah. I read it many years. I don't remember that.
I've got that far, and so far she basically gets. It starts off. It kind of does that thing where it starts off with an action scene and then goes back a little bit to say where she, just how she got there. Sort of
like
thing.
You're wondering how I got in this situation.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, which is a great way to begin. She knows how to get you going, and she is an ex porn actress who runs a modeling company, and someone runs into her office with a suitcase and asks her to leave it there, And she's like, yeah, whatever. And it's all very rushed. And she runs out again. And then there's these guys that are looking for their suitcase, and there's like some money that was nicked. She doesn't know where all this all is, and she gets put in a car, and then she gets beaten up, and she gets like horrendously treated. And all the time, she doesn't know what's going on, and she's trying to tell them she doesn't know what's going on. And then her friend gets killed, and then she's just like, and she's totally like a passive victim of all this. And I'm expecting at some point she's like, I need to sort this out. So yeah, it's, as a character, the first person narrative character is really, really cool, really interesting, and just well written. So yeah, Christopher Faust has got a very good way of writing, I think. So yeah, that's the kind of where I am with the plot. I don't know how she's going to take it, but so far she's just been a victim. She's been like beaten up and stuff. But she's also been accused of murdering her friend, and she knows when the reader knows who did it. So it's definitely a false accusation. So that's another thing she's got to deal with. So a bit of a cliche in that sense. She's got to prove her name, like disprove the murder thing. But yeah, it's just really well done. And funnily enough, one of the things I've just bought for Garb August is a book by her, which is the novelization of Snakes on a Plane.
Oh,
so she wrote that. She wrote the novelization of Snakes on a Plane, which is hilarious. So that's actually quite a chunker as well. But I'm expecting from the way she writes, it'll probably be a quick read. But it's quite big. It's like a 400 plus, I think. But who knew that a novelization of that film would be so big? But, so yeah, I expect I'll finish that soon. It's a lot of fun. I mean, the hard-case crime novels, I think they're really interesting. I've had many more hits than misses, and they're usually quite unusual plots from my experience. I mean, Greg, you got a lot of them, haven't you?
I have all the original series. It was originally published by Leisure Books.
Right.
They're putting out one a month.
Yeah.
And then Leisure Books went out of business.
Right.
So they stopped printing them, but the editor, Charles Adani or Aldi.
Ardi?
Hold on, I have it right there.
Charles, I don't know how to say his name.
Ardi.
Yeah.
Ardi, yeah. He restarted it with a different publisher.
Right.
What happened is, I'll show you an example.
Because I don't necessarily
like it, but they did.
They did 3 Stephen King books, and that's how I
discovered. Yeah, they are. They usually come as mass market original.
Yeah.
And then they started publishing them in these larger formats.
Yeah.
And I don't like the larger format as much as the smaller one.
Yeah, I prefer the smaller ones. Yeah.
But I have all the original series. Right. And what happens is when he Charles reset off the hard case crime line, he did not publish every month. He published like 5 or 6 a year. And he got onto this Max Allan Collins author.
Yeah, he's released loads of his.
And it's like 3 of them or 3 Max Allan Collins a year. And he was my least favorite author that they published. I mean, they weren't bad books. It's just like there are so many more that were better.
Right.
But I guess Max Allan Collins is the kind of author that can pump out books really fast.
Is he still alive, Max Allan?
I believe he's still alive.
All right. Because I had one book called Double Down, which was actually 2 books. So I read one.
No, 2 for the money.
No, it's called Double Down, the one I've got.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have this book right here.
I mean, one of those books might be called 2 for the Money, but it's the one that I was reading was called Double Down. Yeah, I haven't got that one.
Now this is 2 novels, though.
Yeah, they might have done it more than once.
He might have repeated himself. Okay.
Yeah. But I read the first book for the February August thing, February, the Wasted Weekend. And I enjoyed it. It was more cliche than some of the others I'd read in the series, but it was still fun, and it was like interesting characters and stuff. So I will read the other half of the book and read the other book. But yeah, I discovered the series because of the 3 Stephen King books that they brought out. Yeah,
he has. I have 2 of them up there: Joyland Later and The Colorado Kid.
Colorado Kid, yeah. And Joyland is one of my favorite Stephen King books. I think it's amazing. So yeah, interesting imprint. And Krista Faust, I think, is a really good author. I think she's got a good way of telling a story. So yeah, that's a little bit different from Rocket Summer, but I feel like I've read quite a lot of Rocket Summer now, so I'm taking a break from that for a couple of days. So Let's go back to the comments. Mark says, I found a used copy of Psalm for the Wild Bill. It's good since I had the second book already. Yeah, I used to have, have I still got it? I can't remember if I've still got it. I was going to have everything that she'd done, but I wasn't as impressed with the Monk and Robot book I read as much as the Wayfarer series. I love the Wayfarer series, but I haven't read the second one yet. So I don't know if I decided to keep it or not, because I'm trying to be a bit more brutal with my books. You like that though, didn't you, Dave? You like the Monk and Robot book?
I didn't read that. I only read I read The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, and
read
then
that one too. And
I didn't. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
It was okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't understand what all the hype was about.
I don't either.
I mean, it was good. I mean, it was fine. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't think it was so great. So I didn't continue on with this. Did you continue on with the series?
No, I didn't. But what I think what people like is that it's very optimistic about the future.
I think the people that don't like the books think it's something blanket like that. But the Wayfarer series, for me, has got really good characters in it. So it's like watching Star Trek, and she's a big Star Trek fan. So if I watch DS9 or Next Generation, I like the characters, and to some extent Voyager, but that was more plot based. But Becky Chambers' Wayfarer series is about the characters.
But now each book is not the same set of characters, as I understand.
No, it's not. No, but she's still very good at writing characters. so that's always the thing that you're enjoying if you're enjoying it, is the characters. So people say, "Oh, it's very cozy," and then there's no conflict in it, and they sometimes criticize her for it, but it's because it's the characters. The characters are interesting, then you'll like it. If you're not interested in the characters, you'll think it's boring.
Yeah, but the one thing she sets it up is that there is a character introduced into the first book. And as soon as introduced, he was very grating, rough character. And I automatically, he's going to have a character arc and redeem himself. Which is, I guess that's a little bit of a spoiler, but, Well,
also a bit harsh, because I'm sure that most authors would do that as well.
No, you can have characters that don't get redeemed. Perfectly irredeemable.
But it's not necessarily a criticism when someone does redeem a character, right?
Not necessarily, but the way that she did it was just a little too obvious. That it's like a TV show character, a sitcom where you get the character who's a little rough. And everyone, you're kind of whatever. And then at the end of the episode, something. Oh, it's because my father spanked me too hard when I was a child that I'm so mean. And then the confession makes the person okay.
Yeah,
it's that redemption. It's not a real redemption in my mind.
Yeah, there's certainly more sophisticated redemptions you can have from experience. Like if a character experiences something.
Mm-hmm.
That changes them. That's the best kind of redemption, isn't it?
Right.
So Mo says the Demon Hunters.
Go ahead.
Go on. Go on.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that I decided I would try her, not with that series, but I'd try again with and I read that To Be Taught If Fortunate, which was a standalone. Did you read that? Yeah, I read that. Yeah, it was the same experience. I thought it was decent, but not great. And I felt like that one in particular, I felt like it was trying really hard to be moving, and it was trying a little too hard.
So you felt like it was like tugging at your heartstrings a bit and like trying to manipulate your emotions a bit.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't know. You liked it, or?
I did like it. I don't like it as much as the Wayfarer is, but I did like it. I think I'll always read what she comes out with, because I think mostly because of the Wayfarer series, but I feel like all 4 books are quite different though. Because my favorite one's the second one, which nobody goes on about. I think the second one, Close and Common Orbit, is so brilliant, and it's just about 2 characters, but the way that they support each other and have to overcome this trauma they had when they were younger and stuff. It's really cool. Us younger, one of them's an AI, but they have to live with the fact that they've got a body and they have never had a body before, and it's really cool. So they can used to, because they were just part of a ship before. So that kind of stuff.
Is that a character from Long Angry Planet?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It is a character from Long Angry
Planet. Yeah. She carries that character on, but the other character's new. Yeah. So yeah, I think I always want to read what she does, but I get that she's kind of polarizing. You know, I do get that. Sometimes I read like Adrian Tchaikovsky. If someone says they don't like Children of Time, I'd be like, why? You know.
Yeah.
But
we can't be friends anymore.
Yeah. But I get that not everyone's going to relate to the way that Becky Chambers writes. So I do get that.
Well, part of it also is that our modern society is just so polarized, angsty and stressful. You read her and say, "Oh, this is just nice." It's like an escape where you don't have to face the troubles of the modern world.
Yeah, they have to deal with stuff.
That could be a real big appeal to a lot of people.
Yeah. The Demon Hunts are girls, so I reckon they're probably members of a K-pop band, though. Hold on, is this...
Oh, they're singers by day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to watch this. It sounds cool. I'm going to find out.
It does sound cool.
Yeah. My travel book about Oxford, which is a me book, I hope. Oh, cool. I love Oxford. I'll go there. Well, I've been there a few times, and I love it. So yeah, Greg had to go. As soon as we started talking about books. I thought it was funny. Or whenever needed, when snacking. Take care, Greg. The ramen obsession of the girls. Oh, that's ramen. They're obsessed with that in the show, clearly. Not sure if it's the same. Because ramen can be gourmet, but ramyun is actually a Korean dish. It's always made from the cheese. Oh, okay, yeah. So Korean version of ramen. The carb load at the start of the film is great. This is also talking about this K-pop thing, isn't it?
I think so.
For the fans, anyone else joining us, taking over the chat with movie quotes? No, maybe I need to go back. Okay, so that's clearly another quote. I mean, if they're going to quote stuff that we don't know, it obviously makes it quicker to go through the quote.
That's where I do my best napping. That's where I do my best napping too, Kat. It's nothing quite like a weekend afternoon nap on the couch.
Perfect.
Okay, so Mark's trying to start a game. Send a quote. Someone else tries to name the movie. Here we go. Okay. Mine says 75. That's from Jaws. This is a kid show, Cat. Is it? This is a kid show, apparently. Since when? Yeah. Really going to need a bigger... That's Jaws. That's funny, isn't it? That she says Jaws. I didn't even know she's going to quote from Jaws. Mine says you have 150, Margaret. That's from 48 Hours. Do you like this film 48 Hours, Greg? Nick Nolte, Eddie Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great film.
That's a lot of years ago.
We go together. They did, what's that movie? Was that Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy? Where Eddie Murphy's the ex-con that comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, well, God, I'm drawing a blank.
I feel like these ladies must have been in diapers when that movie came
Well, that's
out,
why I
no?
mentioned the film to Greg, because I thought you might have known that one. It's cool, isn't it?
I saw it in the movie theaters when it first came out.
If I said it in the early days, Greg would go, I haven't watched the film for 20 years, Gareth.
Well, see, I did watch movies back in the 80s when I was in high school. So if you mention these movies, I might know them. But anything much past like 90, I'm going to scratch my head and go, huh?
Yeah, exactly. 48 Hours is like 84 or something. It's quite a long time. You see the
Crowns?
Are they
right?
crowns? Well, Diane can't see him anyway.
I can't see these crowns either.
I see where the reader board is. Make it competitive. YouTube. She's trying to start the game just in the chat, I think. Star Wars. Nobody's quoted Star Wars.
It should. We should start. Should be quoting that.
Well, up here.
What's her name?
Diane
Senator. Somebody should be
Diane
quoting
says-
Senator Mothma. That's what somebody should be quoting.
Diane says I can't see him, which reminds me. If you can mention Star Wars, it reminds me of the bit in the trash compactor when there's that snaky thing that's got his like thing around Luke's neck.
Spoilers.
He says, "Shoot it, Han! Shoot it!" And Han says, "Shoot it! I can't even see it." I remember that because that was also one of the first books I ever read as well. And that bit's in the book.
Ah.
Dang it! This is just—they're just chatting. Look.
Yeah,
There's some good Star Wars ones. Of course there are. Top Gun. Mushroom Jerky comment. I can't see the crowns either. They're panicking. They can't see crowns.
What are they talking about? I'm
There's
confused.
some sort of crown. If you do a lot of comments, you get more crowns. And I think that's why they're playing this game with the movie quote, so they get the most crowns.
Where does it show the crowns?
I have no idea.
Oh.
Oh, you were doing so well explaining what was going on, Greg. The AO must be the.
I think that's what's going on. I've never seen a crown, but
You were sounding pretty. You were sounding pretty hip for a minute there.
Well, Elaine's now referring to something that we've said, which is nice.
English cookies went amazing.
Seriously, Diane, hard to be top chaos gremlin when I can't even compete. We all wear crowns here. Yes, Chris is. He's like, yeah, the midget cookies are really good. Chris is like trying to wade through all the other stuff. You're all going to die down here.
What's that from?
You're all going to die down here.
Oh,
is that Alien 3? Is that Alien 3? No. You're all going to die down here.
I mean, in fairness, that's probably has been
Could be.
said in multiple movies.
But yeah, Poseidon Adventure. I said it on that. Stephen Fry voices a lot of things. Absolutely, he's an amazing man. Sounds familiar. He plays a really good part in V for Vendetta. He plays a gay man, doesn't he? Who gets found by the.
I remember him from the Blackadder series, though.
Yes. Yeah, he's incredible in the 4th series where he plays General Melchett. And there's that amazing episode where his budgie gets killed and he takes Blackadder to court, and it's amazing. It's really funny.
Easy.
I want to see Goonies, but that doesn't feel quite right. I want to say Goonies. You're all going to beat. No, I don't think it's that one. Nope. You and the here are stumping me. It's the person with them one. With them or not with them. Love the Goonies. Me too. She's in the room, but not on their side. Is this another quote? Nah, can't be. Resident Evil, when they're trying to get the antidote and the room starts flooding. Jumanji. Like you said, probably loads of films have had the line, "You're all going to die down here."
But I feel like I've seen it recently.
Does she actually say? Oh, it's one of my favorite horror. Oh no, well, Resident Evil might be, but about to shut it down and end up letting all the zombies out. Oh, maybe it is. Does that mean that is the right answer? They're just chatting away, aren't they? It's difficult to see if that's the answer or not. Loved Separate Peace. Don't know that. MJ's back. I reread that one last year. So they're back on the books. So that was a separate piece. Don't know that one.
So if you want quotes from movies, here's one.
Go on.
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Night of the Living Dead.
Yes.
And I may have said this before, but we went to LA and we wanted to go into the Chinese theater, the very famous Chinese theater with the feet and the hands and all that. We wanted to see a film there. We said, let's just go in and see what they're showing. And they were showing an anniversary, like 50th anniversary or something, version of Night of the Living Dead. We were well happy. So
that would be cool.
It was really cool. And we booked tickets for it that evening, and there was like 3 other people in the cinema. There was just like us 3, and there was like 3 other people. And it was so funny because they just left because there was a documentary before, and they completely watched it and went, oh, I thought it was going to be the film, and just left. And we were like, well, clearly the film is going to be on after this, and so we just had the cinema to ourselves. So that was a bit, man. Yeah, brilliant. Really cool seeing it in LA in that special moment. The Secret History employs some misdirection, though.
It does. That's the Don Hart book.
I think we had it in junior high. Weirded me out thinking about my best friend from that time. Oh, okay. Oh, that's the other book, I think. Kat, have you got another one? It's a page to screen then. I'll check it out. Truffle Shuffle is Goonies. Goonies. Well, I said it first. Goonies Never Say Die. That's from Goonies. I was trying to think of a good one without the name. Goonies is all in my head now. I have a quote, but I'm not going to guess another correct one.
Wait, so did we get the answer for You're All Gonna Die down here? Did I miss it?
I don't know.
I didn't catch it.
I think it was buried amongst loads of other chats. So if you want to specifically say whoever it was that said that quote, because I am intrigued as well, tell us what that quote was from. Diane's up.
Scotty, beam me up. Go on now. Even I know that one.
They're just trying to get these crowns.
Having this.
How much juice are we giving Gareth's channel? Give us your juice. My joke from earlier. Guess the movie. Snakes on a Plane has a novel. Yes, it does. Made by Christopher Faust.
Gareth just bought it today.
Sexy crime books. They're going to be so confused.
No,
we're not confused. We're just trying to.
Highlander.
Yeah, that's
Highlander.
There can be only one. I love that film. I haven't seen the sequels, but I love the film, the first one. It'll be fun watching them get through the comments.
The second sequel is just so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw it in the theater, and Gareth, they brought Sean Connery back for the sequel.
Yeah.
And I'm going, oh, wait a second here.
yeah. But apparently, I seem to remember he was paid a hell of a lot of money as well to come back.
Well, you know something? They said, we're just going to make this stuff up. We'll just bring them back. What the hell?
Yeah, we'll find something. Yeah, some time travel-y reason.
There was a show, too. Did you guys watch the show?
I saw some of the show.
Bits of it. Yeah, I saw bits of it.
I never finished the show. I mean...
With the thing about the first film, I think it's got one of the best villains of all cinema. I think the Kurgan, Clancy Brown. I think Clancy Brown. I love Clancy Brown anyway.
You know, Gareth, Clancy Brown was my next door neighbor when I was growing up.
Really?
What? Yes. That's amazing.
So you knew him?
A little bit. He was a few years older than me, but
that's insane. He's genuinely
when you were a kid. When you were a kid.
When I was a kid, I was probably about 10 to 12, something like that.
So when
did you guys play out? Did you guys play outside together?
No, I didn't play. He was too old.
I was gonna say because that would have been like a pretty intense. They had like some freaking sword fights out in the yard, right?
Well, he always plays villains, doesn't he? Like the only time he hasn't played a villain was in Lost. Actually, remember he was in Lost. He was the guy who pressed the button in Lost.
I don't know.
Dave, you're right.
I don't remember that. You made me like spell my thing when you said Lost.
Yeah. He's the guy. Remember, like as the show's developing, and then you get that bit in the islands, and then it gives us a little flashback to when the shaft bit starts with pressing the button every 12 hours or whatever. The guy in the yellow suit, that's Clancy Brown.
Yeah, the guy that turned it over. Yeah,
it's Clancy Brown. He just appears now and again. You go, oh my god, it's Clancy Brown. He's in SpongeBob SquarePants as well, for Christ's sake. But that's amazing. He was a next door neighbor.
You know, he's got to be someone's next door neighbor.
Yeah, but he was yours. He was your next door neighbor. When he was like 10 years old, he had a really low, gruff voice.
I don't remember. You know, just the kid next door. And
wow, everybody in the chat, tell me your favorite Clancy Brown film. And you can't say Highlander because we've just stopped talking about him. From the Crashing Colin McLeod, absolutely. This is more Highlander stuff. Is it a Pixar? No, Highlander was not done by Pixar, Margaret. It has John Travolta in it. I don't even know if this is still the quote we're all going to die in here?
No, she mentions it later. It's coming up.
Okay.
I saw it.
Pulp Fiction. Okay, there's lots of like just cheese, Christ, Chris, woo.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to move on.
Keep going.
That sounds like a kids' movie. Pulp Fiction, tomato joke. I thought they referred to. Okay, Chris randomly says, I'm not prepared. Your cat makes a funny point here that there's nothing dirty in this, but they're still taking over chat.
Open the pod
important
bay
thing
doors.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Open the pod bay doors. What's that? Oh, what is that? Is that 2001?
Oh, it's Star Wars.
Open the pod bay doors. Is it? When do they say that?
They say it in like every other episode.
Every episode? You call it Star Wars episodes? I love that. They're saying Star Trek and Star Wars. Jenny thought it might be 2001. It is sci-fi. I'm trying to find the answer. Oh, there's another one here. I Stole the Baby. That's a good one. I recognize these lines.
Wait, you jumped over some stuff. Titanic.
What's Titanic?
Did they say in Titanic? You skipping over a bunch of.
That's because they're just like one-word comments.
No.
Yeah, she says Titanic.
Somebody mentioned Sequest.
There's no
Sequest
context.
DSV.
Yeah, that's them
Titanic.
trying to guess Chris's quote.
No.
Oh, hold on. Yes, Jenny. Yeah, it is 2001. I was right. That's open the pod bay doors. That's probably the whole Dave bit. I'm not going to do that, Dave, and all that. It's probably that.
Oh, the pod bay doors? That was 2001?
That's well, because he said yes, Jenny. So.
Oh, that's another one that's probably in like a number of different things.
Yeah.
You're all going to die down here, though. Could that be Titanic?
Oh, well, Titanic, there's one here from Titanic. I'll never let you go, Jack.
I'll never let you go, Jack.
Sheriff may have skipped it. I think it was Resident Evil or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, hopefully she's going to tell us in a minute because I asked them to say
someone mentioned it in the comments. I'm not sure if we
do we know what that one's from? I Stole the Baby.
Oh my god, I can't even follow. I can't even follow anymore.
I don't have an idea on that one. There's lots of people trying to guess, and there's obviously Margaret thinks there's a film called Dang. Rosemary's Baby. I think they would have said they're stealing the baby. They just did it. You Stole the Baby as Ice Age. Raising Arizona, one of the greatest films ever made. I love that film so much. I've seen it so many times. Have you seen Raising Arizona, boys?
I don't remember. That's Nicolas Cage?
It's the second Coen Brothers film, and it's an absolute work of genius. I love it. Every single minute of that film is absolutely brilliant. It's really, really ridiculous. It's like an hour and a half Warner Brothers cartoon. It's brilliant. Don't even know that one. It's fantasy, if that helps. I don't even know what quote we're on.
Me neither. I'm totally lost.
Yeah, I'm lost.
Yeah, it's not happening. So the game works better, I think, if people are on screen doing it rather than fantasy with a stolen baby. I stole the baby. Well, that's Labyrinth, but I don't think they say it. They never say I stole the baby.
What about discussing that book quote about complicated books? Going back to that.
We can do that. I want to know where this. It's not. There's loads of people just guessing. What's that one? I have a friend who loved that one. No, they're just chatting about Willow, and then it's all about. I really hope they don't try to go through one of them. No. Well, I'm just looking for the answers, mate, and you guys aren't actually giving the answers. Little Mermaid. That's not Little Mermaid. Okay, they're just having a little. No, they're not even telling us the answers. me. Yeah. I mean, it's great that they're having a good time. That's the most important thing.
I'm
Jenny,
just scrolling
Jenny
down
loved your
trying to find out
presentation.
where's like the end of the movie stuff.
I don't think there is. I think it's all movies.
Oh,
right
it's still
now.
going. You could just skip right to the end, Gareth.
Yeah.
Well, they're just chatting
it's
away
still the
about what
movie
the
stuff.
movies are like, which is great, but it's not really the game, is it? Right, I'm just gonna. Heidi says the best Star Wars line is "Lay of the hands, I love you, hands to Leia." So, I have a really lovely thing. I think she'd be. No, my wife Ali would be quite happy to admit. I think that she's not that romantic. You've met her now, Dave, and she's lovely, isn't she?
Yes.
But and she says, by the way, say hello to the boys. She said. But this says I love you, right? And it's got the date of our first wedding. We were married twice. I love you. She's got the same thing, and it says I know on it.
That's cute.
That's cool, isn't it? She did that. She came up with that. So
yes,
let's talk about prune juice now. So I think they've just
it's all movie stuff.
They've shot themselves in the foot because they do. If it was just like it's so obviously this little chat, I would have been reading every comment, but I'm not going to read every comment if it's not even relevant.
The latest comment is Jenny saying proof that we can still spam like pros.
Yeah, but it's not working, is it? Because I'm not reading it. The clever stuff is when I feel like I have to read it out, but it's not. Yeah. Oh yeah, hold on. I look up Clancy Brown. Hold on. This is actually referring to. And his top Google billing is Voices of Many Characters. Yeah, he's in SpongeBob. Yeah, he's in that. But he's had an amazing career. He's in so many things. He's the absolute bastard in Shawshank Redemption. And he's also a bastard in Starship Troopers. He's in so many things.
What is this leaderboard thing? Is this a real thing? Greg, do you know what they're talking about?
I've
with
heard
the crowns and the leaderboard?
Show, but I've not. I cannot see any crowns on my screen. So they're
okay. Chris is having so much fun that he can't stay. he went, this is amazing. And he's like, oh, no, I can't handle it. It's too amazing. And then he had to leave straight away. He got overwhelmed. Bye, Chris. Take care, Chris. Earl Grey has me stumped too.
I am on the laptop.
Mine's about avoiding marriage. Elaine is right. Willow was the answer.
If you look down.
Oh, here we go. I stole the babies from Willow.
Chat window. There's a crown.
If you look
click on it to see the leaderboard.
Elaine, this is making my job easier, mate. I've managed to avoid all these answers because they're not answers.
Live chat.
It's actually
There's
easier to do this. If you chat to yourselves.
Top 3 get crowns with numbers.
I just see private chat and comments.
Yeah, I don't see. Margaret, you must have some like fancy newfangled version.
I'm using Chrome, I think.
Yeah, I'm using Chrome. What do you got, Margaret?
Laptop, Dave? Margaret says, "Are you using your laptop?"
I'm using my laptop.
Yeah.
Proof that boys.
I would find these how do we find these crowns?
Yeah, I don't see anything at the top of the live chat. There's a leaderboard and top 3 get crowns with numbers. Private chat and comments are on StreamYard, not YouTube.
Oh, we're on StreamYard. We're not on. Oh, hold on for a second here. I think you have to
see them on
actually go on.
Oh wait,
YouTube. Hold on.
There's a crown. Click on it to see the leaderboard. I don't see a crown.
No, Garrett, Dave. We're not going to see it.
No, I'm looking on a different screen now on YouTube.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And
okay.
I still don't see a crown.
Oh, it has to be on your laptop. You can't do it on your phone. Hold on.
Oh, my iPad won't do it. Okay, got it.
Hold on. I'm going to mute myself for just a second because I'm going to go look.
Yeah, we're going to figure this out right now. Hold on, Gareth.
They're enjoying the fact that you can't work it out. I couldn't be more indifferent. So you crack on.
You keep doing you there,
someone's
Gareth. We're gonna
winning.
figure this out.
Still, I'm or still limey. So she's calling me a limey. Look, still the limey's there. Still that British guy's there. That's what he's saying. That's nice. Fred's here. Hi, Fred. Just got in after mowing the lawn. Nice one. 17,500 steps today. That's a big staircase.
Okay, now I saw the crowns. If you go to your browser and go to the live
Fred.
show, you can see all these crowns. I never watched the live show live. I very rarely watch them. I'm always participating, so that's why they're all doing. Now it's making sense. Now that's why they're getting all these funky comments they keep doing. They want to get their crowns in.
They want to get their crowns, and then Jenny's annoyed that Elaine and Chris knocked her off the leaderboard. This is interesting. This is as a new dimension to having a chat with people that are watching your channel.
I'm going to have to say I don't like it because now the chat is just filled with this nonsense. I mean,
yeah,
you can be going, "What's 2 + 2?" So go,
Gareth.
They do. That's that we've had a show with Greg where they've literally said, "What's 2 + 2?" And then they kept doing that because they wanted to try and make sure that we were behind on the comments. So they like us being behind the comments. For some reason, they get all excited, and I'm not sure, if it's regional or if it's a gender thing. But they get really excited when we're behind in the comments.
Oh, there it is. Gareth, you also named this episode
Episode 31.
31.
It is 31, isn't it? No?
It's 37.
37! That's cool. So I was just testing you. I was just seeing if you noticed, Dave. Well done.
Wow, look at that. Yeah, Margaret, then Chris, then Elaine, then Jenny.
I'm not even reading them. I'm just putting them on the screen. I'm just expecting it to be like stuff that I'm not even involved
That's so
with.
Funny.
Yeah, this Wii competition will help us spam more strategically. There we go. Very nice.
This is so funny. I had no idea.
I think it's quite cool to alienate the hosts. It's our job. There we go. You crack on.
Oh, hey, Fred.
That's amazing. He's walked 7.75 miles just in his lawn.
Wow.
Speaking on viewers.
Speaking on viewers. What was the all right, you caught up. What was the other thing you were talking about?
Right. So
Greg wanted to talk about the complicated.
Yeah, this might be quite interesting. So Carl from Please Read Your Book, who's now got lots of new viewers because of the whole drama. Oh no, absolutely. By the way, that's worth saying. I was only joking. He put up this video today talking about. I mean, he did one a little while ago saying you should challenge yourself and don't be a brave reader. Which I was gonna make a comment, but I didn't because it's such a nuanced comment. It wouldn't be a comment, more of a conversation. I think it's good to do both. I think it's good to read for fun, read something basic as well as reading something as challenging, right?
Yes.
But it did make me think, well, that's actually quite an interesting thing, and I did think, well, do I do that? And I thought, well, what have I got coming up? And if you can both you guys could have a think. I've got something ready because I knew I was going to.
I got one that's coming up in September. I'll go get it.
Yeah, okay, brilliant. If you ever think, Dave, of a book that you think will be challenging for you, but you may have put it off, but you may not have put it off. But this one I'm going to mention I have put off, but I know that I'm going to read it soon, and that's Lolita.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've never read this, and
one of my favorite books of all time.
Exactly.
It would hit one of my top 5 novels of all time too.
Yeah,
it's one of my top 2. I can always say I have my top 2 books. They're very different, so it's always hard for me to say which is my favorite. But this is one of the 2.
It is, but in today's culture, I sometimes don't mention it because it's so polarizing for some readers.
Yeah,
they're just shocked. How could you like that book about abuse?
Yeah.
So, not. It's so much more than that.
Right. So yeah, there's all sorts of those reasons is why I've put it off, but I really do want to read it. And recently, one of my colleagues at work, I think she's an awesome woman. I think she's one of my favorite people, and she'd mentioned it. I think I said I was about to read it. She said, "Oh, I've just read that a couple of months ago." I said, "What did you think?" And she said, "Yeah, well, it's a very interesting read." I said, "Did you enjoy it?" She said, "No, I didn't enjoy it, but it's a very interesting read. I'm glad I read it." And that is possibly what a lot of people would think, that they didn't enjoy it, but they're glad they read it. But did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. I mean, the character of Humbert Humpert, he's loathsome, but he's also, there's something very intriguing about him,
right?
That you can't quite get away from, because he's so eloquent, and Nabokov is so eloquent that you really have to listen about what he's doing to Lolita, and it's not graphic. I mean, people say it's like a dirty sex novel. There's no graphic sex in that book.
No, I'm glad of that.
No, but
to be fair, I didn't expect there to be. I thought it was going to be a lot more subtle than that anyway.
Well, the problem was it was originally published by Olympia Press back in the 50s, and Olympia Press was known for the time for basically publishing pornography, erotic novels. And there's a situation that's described in my annotated Lolita, where the editor was in the army, and one of his soldier buddies was reading Lolita. He picked it up in the green cover, thinking it was going to be a dirty novel.
Right.
And the soldier got through it and eventually threw it to the floor. He goes, "This is effing literature." And I don't think he used effing, but you get the point.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, if the only redeeming thing is the prose, then I might be switched off anyway, just from that point of view. I don't know what to expect, to be fair. But I'm intrigued. Like Fred asked a very good point here. This might be good for you to spin off from as well. Unless it's for work or school, why? For intellectuals. So it's interesting. Why would you read? I mean, I'm reading this out of curiosity, and because you guys, I know that I think I've actually heard you say it, Greg, but I definitely heard Dave say that he really liked the book. So that's sparked my curiosity more. But it's such a, is it strange? I don't know what the right word is, but it's such a unique thing to write that it's like, okay, well, what is this? So it's definitely curiosity for me. And there are definitely challenging books I wouldn't even want to go near, that I just can't be asked. I wouldn't be interested. And I wouldn't want to do it for challenge sake. So it would have to spark my curiosity. I'd have to be curious. And there's some things I just don't care about. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Have you got something? You got something in mind, Greg?
I do. This is actually it's a reread for me. I've mentioned this on my channel a number of times. This is J.R. by William Gaddis. It won the National Book Award in 1975. Now, you have to understand, this book is 770 pages long, something like that.
Wow.
It's no chapter breaks.
Right.
There are no scene breaks. It's essentially 95% unattributed dialogue. So you have a line of dialogue.
Well, in the same scene. They never changed
No,
to go somewhere else.
Well, I'm going to get to that point. So you get through it, and the characters are going back and forth, and you had to figure out who's talking to who.
Right.
And you don't get a lot of description. Now, what happens in this novel is you'll have dialogue, characters going back and forth. And then you'll get a quick couple sentences of prose describing a scene. And then the scene's changed.
Okay. Right.
But it's absolutely brilliant because just the way the characters go back and forth and how they talk to each other. And it's a hilarious setup. It's essentially a satire on American business.
Right.
In this story, there's an 8th grader, and he has a payphone in his school, and he puts a cloth over his mouth, talking, "I want to buy this stock." So in those days, if someone said, "Okay, we'll sell you the stock," because the stock that he's buying is for a company that's failing. So someone willing to buy the stock, they'll say, okay, we'll give you these numbers of stock. And then he owns these stock, but he's like, you don't have to pay for it up front. And then he takes that stock and says, okay, I'm going to buy this other, I'll use that as collateral to buy other stock. So he keeps buying these failing companies. And on paper, it looks like he's worth millions of dollars, even though it's all failing businesses that are going into debt.
Right.
And he keeps moving this money, this fake money around to build this empire. So, yeah, I mean, it's really bizarre. I mean, you can't do that in real life, but this is a satire on business, on
Right.
what business people do to make money. Like Donald Trump does this all the time. He does this company and shuffles it around and just shuffling money around, and
making money.
It looks like you're rich, but all your businesses are crap.
Yeah.
And at one point, there's a very funny scene where he has his music teacher, and you might appreciate this, Gareth, is trying to talk to him, and JR goes, "What's a subpoena?" I got this in a mail. So, and one of the funniest scenes is the music teacher's trying to teach this boy about real music. So he decides to play him a bit of one of Bach's cantatas. You know, if you ever listen to a Bach cantata, they're very cerebral, very beautiful, but they're sung in German.
Yeah.
And so there's this duet of the man and the woman. He says, well, what do you think about this music? What are they telling each other? And JR goes to his teacher. The man is saying, up yours. Because in German, if it was pareidolia, you don't understand the German. You assign English median. So he's singing up yours. The woman's saying up mine. And the teacher says, you've ruined this piece of music forever.
Right.
But when I read, hold on for a second. When I read this, I also listen to the audiobook version while reading the text because it's very hard to follow.
Right.
I mean, it's the way to describe it. It's very hard to follow. And the narrator does such a good job with the voices is that when one character speaks, he modulates his voice so you can tell that it's another character speaking, and you can tell.
Do you find, because it's clearly a challenge in a kind of like a puzzle kind of way.
Right.
You've got to work out what you're reading.
Right.
Is that the attraction for you, or is the payoff?
It is, but there's a lot more payoffs because you have to listen to what the characters are saying. Because sometimes,
if I find out that a book is a proper puzzle, like House of Leaves, or
not puzzle in that case,
I just feel like I'm not really. I don't read for the puzzle. So like if it's got a funny narrative structure, like me and Dave DNF female man, because it looked like she was just pissing about. So, for me, that kind of challenge would be a turn off rather than an attraction.
Sort of. I mean, but but the thing is, you get invested in some of these characters and the schemes that they're doing, and how JR builds up this fake empire, and all these other businesses say, "Oh, this JR Corporation, we have to do anything he wants us to do because it's a rich, powerful company." And so there's a lot about that. And I really want to read it and focus on what he's talking about, the culture of business and how he's reacting to business. Because it seems so relevant today that our businesses are so important, but they're just giant corporations. And they probably don't really deserve our respect.
Yeah, and books set in the corporate world, again, that wouldn't be a thing that I'd be attracted to as well. But if you are really interested in that, and that you're kind of getting a lot out of that as well. I can see why that would be a thing.
It is, and I mean, it's 75, so it's a little outdated, and and the actual type of businesses they're talking about, but it works very well. And Alan and I are doing a buddy read or reread because we both have read it before in September, October. So, and it's a book you can read slowly. You don't have to.
Yeah.
I mean, if you try to read it all at once, it just may bust your brain because it's just too much going on.
Yeah. Okay, Dave, have you got something, Dave?
So I didn't see the video, but it's basically something that's challenging for you for whatever reason.
Yeah, whatever reason.
Yeah.
It's
So
pretty vague.
I didn't know this question was coming, but I think I actually do have a very good answer for it right here.
Okay.
It's just, I actually did just briefly, I didn't mention it before because I actually did just start this briefly weeks ago, and I didn't get very far yet, but that's part of the issue is that it's going to take me a while. So this is a book that I normally would never pick up, this type of book, but it's just really important to me to read it right now. And it's this, The Coming of the Third Reich.
Okay.
Richard Evans.
I've read that, actually. I read it in my history degree.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, many years ago.
Yeah, you read it too, Greg?
Richard
I have not read it. It was on a Kindle sale one day for $1.99, and I grabbed it. But I want to read more books about how authoritarianism comes to power.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
And so that's like I've read The Coming of the Third Reich by William Shire, I think. And so I wanted to read a little more modern update and opinions about how Germany rose to power and became what it did during World War II. And I've heard that very good things about that. Now it's a trilogy. There's 3 books.
Yeah, well, Richard Evans is a good historian.
That's the issue, is that there's, first of all, this one itself is quite a chunker. I mean, what is it? I mean, for me, it's a chunker. This version is, I guess, close to 500, but it's it's small print, and it's
going to be a challenge.
And it's like you said, it's just part 1 of 3. So normally I would never pick up this size of no offense, Gareth, but of a history book like this long. You wouldn't usually catch me picking up a history book, period, and certainly one this long. But so it's going to take me, number one, it's difficult because it's going to take me time. I'm going to have to do it slowly. And number 2, just because it's going to continue to make me more upset. I just think you guys don't care for a little political, right?
No, of course not.
So I just, I know the basics, right, of what happened with the fascist movement in Nazi Germany. And I personally, you've probably both heard me say this before, but I personally am very mesmerized by the lack of awareness of what's happening in the U.S. right now. It's so many decades, right, of people saying, how did that ever happen? Something like that could never happen again, and this and that. And now, to me, just based on the very limited knowledge that I have of how that progressed during Hitler's rise to power, the parallels to me are just like they're stunning. Like, they're absolutely fucking stunning. It's exactly the same.
Well, I would say one of the things that, sorry, carry on. I'm interrupting. Carry on. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I mean, it's pretty much like the exact same blueprint. It's so many of the same exact things are happening. And I'm just stunned about how few people can see the parallels. This is, for me, it's based on very limited historical knowledge. And I see all these parallels, and I'm just mesmerized that not that many people seem to understand that this is directly parallel to what happened then. And I just feel, and that's part of why it's going to be more, it's just going to get me more upset, right? Because it's something I'm despondent about on a regular basis now. But I feel like I need to learn more about it because it's so important and it's happening now. And I would like to learn more about the details of what they did.
One of the big differences between now and the 1930s, and obviously the 1930s Germany, but in 1930s in general, but massively with Germany, is the economic situation completely different. What shocks me about what's happening in America is that America is not in a bad way economically.
Right.
So
Yeah.
but no, exactly. But when it starts happening, when Trump starts doing these things, there's no excuse. Whereas if you look into how Hitler became popular and how he sold what he was doing, and made everyone think, oh my God, he's going to turn this country around. They were desperate. So the conditions in Germany were pretty bad, and they'd been kind of stamped on pretty badly after the First World War as a punishment, and then things didn't get better. And in general, across the world, across Europe, the economic situation was pretty bad in the 30s. And obviously, you had the Great Depression in America in 1929, but into the 1930s, you had the Great Depression through Europe as well. And when the economy is bad, people blame immigrants, right? It's just a standard thing. People blame the foreigners, and it was a really easy thing for Hitler to grab onto and to whip up popular support. And they were desperate, and they wanted something. I mean, it's the same. It's just not this. Please do not think that I'm putting Hitler next to Lenin, but Lenin did the same thing where the Russian people were in a terrible state because the second Tsar, the second Nicholas Tsar, whatever his name is, Nicholas II, that Tsar was completely indifferent to the people of Russia, and they're in terrible conditions. And Lenin came along and said, I can make this better. I can make your country better. And that's what made him popular. And the economic situation that a popular speaker can make someone go, oh my God, this is fantastic. We need this person. That makes perfect sense. What is weird about what's happening in America is you didn't have that. You didn't have a situation where you're like, oh my God, we need someone
you had to invent the problem. Now, I'm going to recommend this book.
Yeah, it's on the list. It's literally in my Amazon wish list.
Actually, this is actually pretty good because first of all, it's not huge. It's about 300 pages of text, and it shows you in a condensed form not just Nazi Germany, but Mussolini, some strong men in Africa, and it's good because it primes you. There's going to be so much information in Rise of the one you just held up.
Coming to the Third Reich.
Right.
Yeah.
That it helps going into history if you know a little bit about it. You're not going in just totally blank. So it's sort of like reading Cliff Notes before. So you understand what's going on, and then let Evans pull in the details.
But there's loads of really good stuff that was written at the time as well, in the 30s and 40s by communists and socialists at the time that were saying, this is how this has happened, and this is what we have to keep an eye on, sort of thing. So sometimes reading stuff from the period can be really interesting as well. But yes, I mean, God knows what's going to happen in this century, but there's already some weird stuff happening in there. So
do you think I should read Strongmen first?
I would read Strong. I mean, depending how much knowledge you have of the Third Reich during that period, I would do it first just because it's strong. It's shorter.
Okay.
And I don't know. We don't have time for the Evans book, but it will build up your knowledge. So, like you like read the short stuff first, and then get into the details. Get a broad. I mean, obviously, at 300 pages, covering more than one strongman, you're not going to get the level of detail. Hold on.
Yeah.
That you get with Evans. So it's like a primer. And like I said, I read Rise and the Fall of the Third Reich by Shire, which is like 1,400 pages. But that covers the whole of World War II. And for me, I'm honestly right now more concerned about the rise of the power than how they fared during World War II and how it felt.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, because there are certain conditions that create these things, but each one is quite different.
And you see lots of parallels. I mean, this is not the first rise of an authoritarian power across the world.
Because the way the Stalin came to power is hilarious. Because that was because nobody expected him to be a nutcase, and they thought He was just a reasonable man. So he snuck in, which is just like the most bizarre thing to say, that somebody like Stalin just snuck in. But that is true. That's kind of what happened.
Yeah.
You know, well, say that Lenin on his deathbed said, "Don't let Stalin take over," but nobody believed him because they were like, "What are you on about? He's just this guy. Let's just sits there quietly writing letters. What's the matter with you?" So yeah, that's quite funny that Stalin snuck in. But yeah, I think you're right that the detail sometimes you find out, because everyone's obsessed with World War II. So the detail you get all the time about Hitler, you don't necessarily need all of that now for looking at contemporary parallels, but how he sold himself and how he became such a popular character. It is important when people are saying, well, how did that happen? That'll never happen again. I think that's the important thing, I think, for the parallels.
I mean, I read one last year called "How Democracies Die," which was good, but
I read that one too.
Yeah, but that was so maybe you can tell me then, because
I read it a lot. I mean, I'd have to go back to it because I don't. It's
that
not
one,
in my mind.
That one dealt with a number of different strongmen, and but it just at a very high level touched upon how each of these autocrats rose to how they subverted the democratic systems and rose to
You get a lot of that in strongmen.
Yeah, but it sounds like maybe
you would get that in your Fred Wright one. You get that as well, but just obviously focused on that. But you would get that.
Yeah.
Let's go back to comments, because I think we might be.
I think we're past the movie phase.
Yeah. I don't think you're meant to truly enjoy it, but it's meant to be fascinating. Yeah, I think they're talking about Lolita there. Sit with the discomfort and wonder what's behind it. Maybe, yeah. Books are my escape. Yeah, fair enough. Absolutely. Kat saying she wouldn't want to do that, which is, and that's a big thing for me too. Unless I'm looking up something specific. Yeah, so non-fiction can be like that. I do both. There's a ratio, pops up and down. Yeah, that's exactly what I wrote on Carl's channel. Reading non-fiction on an unfamiliar subject could help grow new brain cells. That's the reason to challenge yourself. I think it's just it's important to be more aware of stuff, isn't it? Really. Did you find Ulysses was like that, Greg?
Yeah, but I found Ulysses almost impenetrable in certain sections.
Right.
I know Alan has read a few times. He has trouble understanding it in some areas, or he does not understand it as well as maybe you can. I don't know.
Am I right in thinking that Al is definitely one of those people that thinks that reading should be a challenge?
Yes, for some, but he reads a lot of non-challenging books too. He does keep a balance going. So
right, yeah,
like he reads Ken Follett books as well. So
right, yeah. I'm surrounded by a red hat cult and can't afford paying off jewelry or buying pigs. I think that'd be escape. I just picked up "No One Is Talking About This" by Patricia Lockwood. Put it back because while it's interesting, the changes were too often too hard to assign, like Greg is saying. Right.
I think maybe she's talking about the dialogue.
Right.
It's hard to follow.
Okay.
Even though I've never picked up that Patricia Lockwood.
Not my kind of workout. Yeah. Sounds like would hurt my head. Yeah, I mean, I don't really. I mean, for me, a challenge would be maybe the subject matter, like I just said about my book, or a challenge like a non-fiction thing. But I don't want a challenge for the sake of it. I don't want to just hurt my head for the sake of it. That I remember when Margaret wrote that was because when you said you can't just do what they were doing in that book business wise, and it was like, can't you? And then well,
obviously they I guess
yeah, sometimes there's people getting away with murder in a minute, isn't there? Closest I get to Constance reading James Rollins' Sigma Force. Slips in mini lectures about new tech or science as plot points. A couple of paragraphs of convo, but it doesn't feel pointed. Yeah, sometimes that can lose you a bit. Kind of if it's too technical, you're like, I don't know what they're talking about. That can be a thing. August is coming up, and I'm going to read Trash, Mutant Superhero Zombie Killing Disco Cheerleaders from Outer Space.
That sounds awesome.
Tell us if you've made that up. If that is an actual book title, we have to read that. That is fantastic. I mean, I mean, to be fair, coming back, like obviously going the opposite way to Carl's suggested his question, that is what Garb August is about. Garb August is about celebrating the fact that books can be just pleasurable. and there should be no such thing as a guilty pleasure. If you're enjoying something and it's nonsense, then yeah, enjoy it, go for it. I love that. And there are people. There's one particular host that can't get his head around it, and every year puts up a thing about bad books. It's like, it's not about bad books. It's about books you do enjoy and you like, but are trash.
I did not come up with that title that Fred had, just doing a quick search on my Kindle.
Yes, he's just made up. That's a great title, Fred. Write it. Yeah. I like Happy Escape or Absolute Realism. Oh, okay. So one of the two. That's a mouthful. Well, I just said it in one breath. I'll find out if I can say the entire title in one breath when I do my August Trash TBR. That sounds like he's going to read it. Oh,
yeah, it sounds
like it's a
real.
real book. I got to find out where.
Wow. It must be an ebook.
It must be. I did,
or it might be an old one that's just not available anymore.
Yeah. I've got some real doozers that I'm going to be reading for Garb August.
Yeah,
I'll get back to reading one.
Full on Garbog. I don't know if I can squeeze anything else in.
So Elaine's putting fiction aside for decades and about time to limit again. Yeah, I mean, I went through a big non-fiction phase when I was doing my degree, and like the little bit before that and a little bit after that, and then I realized I'd really missed reading fiction. So I find it hard to pick up non-fiction books now, which is why I screwed up my book club when I decided to do that. That didn't go very well because
we never. I read the first one and it just fizzled.
Yeah, it totally fizzled out. So I still want to read the books, but I don't know when the hell I'm going to read them because I look at them and I go, yeah, but I could read this, So
yeah, I read The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat,
which is brilliant. It's brilliant,
but
yeah, I haven't done anything with it. I know.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Great title. I encourage you to write it. Yeah, my reading is all over the place. Well, Jenny starts loads of series. He got 160 book series he's reading. Have you read Frank Norris, Greg?
I have read a Frank Norris book, McTeague.
There you go. So he's read that one.
I want to read his Octopus trilogy. I think it starts with the octopus about wheat. Or it's not really a trilogy. He never wrote the final book in the trilogy.
I think Jenny is now talking about that leaderboard thing. They're still on that. Well done, Jenny. We're very proud of you. My biggest challenge is
back down to number 3.
Yeah. Now she's
number 3.
She's number 3 and dealer's choice. You say a number and we'll guess. So one of my hauls today was the half has never been known about American capitalist wealth built on slavery. Look very in depth, comparable to Isabel Wilkerson books. Don't know Isabel Wilkerson, but yeah, I mean, there's tons of stuff of books about that. And if anyone's not aware of how our countries have got rich, then you missed out there. 4309 unread. You got whoa! Was that 4,309 books unread? That's mental. Margaret stole her crown. I saw a video where a guy listened to a Nazi speech and instead of realizing, wow, maybe voting Trump was bad. Oh, hold on, I lost it. He concludes, wow, maybe we're on the wrong side of history then. What?
Here's Garrett's book.
Is that Fred's book?
Read by Fred's book.
That's amazing. So
wait, can you turn it a little bit?
You got to read
the other way. Yeah. Okay.
It's $2.49.
Oh,
fantastic. People see it, Dave, but those in power turn a blind eye are just as corrupt. That's probably an apology to Jenny, I think.
Chick for stealing her crown.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting. Mushroom jerky recipe line by line, then boom, crowns. So they're getting all upset about their leaderboard. Yeah. I'd like to say I'm surprised, but I work with someone who's tried to make an excuse for why the brown shirts are actually good guy victims. Yeah, you can't really plan who you're going to work with.
No.
I'll never forget a horrendous thing I heard once from someone I was working with in HMV, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, I don't think I'll ever forget you said that. Awful. I'm not keen on the country that my immediate family and I myself fought for, supporting a war criminal and participating in genocide and funneling people into concentration camps. Not keen on the country that my immediate family and I myself fought for, supporting a war criminal. Oh, this is about Israel, isn't it? I'm guessing that he's talking about supporting Israel. But maybe you'll clarify. And then interestingly, this administration, the first time, and this is nearly as divisive as the Civil War itself when it comes to families breaking up. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I was reading From Fascism to Populism in History, but it's boringly academic. Yeah, there's a way of writing it, definitely.
Yeah, there's some of these texts that are for academics. Like Strongman is not for academics. It's for a lay audience. But when you try to read the stuff that's like for experts in their field, it just like, okay, it's too dense for me.
Well, and they haven't got necessarily writing skills. They've just got research skills.
Right.
And that's not great. Lack of accurate teaching of history in our education system has led to people not seeing what's occurring. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the problem.
History is really important. So, I'm very pleased that I just happened to go down that road. And interestingly enough, when we had our big Brexit referendum, what was frustrating for me was I had studied the EU, and clearly most of the population hadn't. And they were saying some just stupid things. And it was completely democratic. And I kept... If I got into a conversation and they go, it's not even democratic, I'd have to explain why it was democratic. And they'd be like, what? I didn't know anything about that. It's like, yeah, I know, because you didn't give a shit. He's demanding wet food in what he's demanding. It's an eating strike. Is that referring to Bean?
I think so.
Do you think it's school district-based, regional, do you have those teachers? Did you have those teachers? She's waiting for a feature on her YouTube channel. That's about Olive, isn't it? Olive's got a new YouTube channel. So
Olive does have a new YouTube channel.
What's it called?
It's at Olive's Reading Nook.
Olive's Reading Nook. And if you go on there, I'm just going to try and get them on the channel, Dave. Olive will be reading live on the channel. He won't be able to resist that. We are complacent here, and if we don't rise up and stop the current rise of militarization within the country, we'll lose our rights. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone, the conversation has to keep going. We must defend our constitution. The people who are being attacked, who have no way of defending themselves due to lower social, political, or secret. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's really, really important. Yeah, he's saying it's a book. Yeah, Greg's found it. To be fair, there are a lot of things on Amazon that are not actual books. It's a real book. And we've got another comment here. I grew up in the Midwest in a small town, but very privileged area. If I had not been further education, my family, I would never have known the truth about what's happened in the wars. Yeah. Well, again, referring back to my education at degree level, there are things that people don't realize about what we were like during the war as well, and what we've done. And actually, it was also because I studied the Industrial Revolution, the way that rose up. Britain got rich on the back of slavery, as well as lots of other European countries. And the way when we colonized India and Africa and all that, we left a mark that means that we have to take some responsibility for what happens later. And people don't do that. They just think, well, why are we sending aid to other countries? And it's stupid. I read 2 of the 3. This talking about your book, I think, Dave. I'm not sure.
Is it McKee? Because he's talking about Frank Norris.
Okay. Unfortunately, education from families. Yeah, I mean, you can pass down bad ideas, can't you?
Yeah,
that's true. And there's lots of people I've taught that have had really backwards ideas about politics that you can tell they're just quoting their dad, and that's a shame.
Yeah.
Definitely. Reading is about a craving for stories. Right? Yeah, absolutely. No, that's fair enough. Yeah. So we obviously we're talking about lots of different things you can get out of reading. Absolutely. Fred's book is on Amazon, 200 pages. Anne Frank's Diary is banned in America. Is that true? That's crazy. That would never be banned over here. Why the hell were they banning Anne Frank's Diary? So stupid.
Most of the book bans are just not even for things that I would. I mean, there are 2 books that I would consider banning. One is the Anarchist Cookbook, which tells you how to build bombs.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'd outright ban it, but I would not place it for sale in most bookstore. Even though I bought my bookstore at a B. Dalton way back in the 80s or maybe early 90s. And the other one I would consider banning or not selling is the Turner Diaries. I don't know if you either heard of the Turner Diaries.
No, what's that?
Don't know the Turner Diaries.
It's essentially a self-published book way back from the late 70s, early 80s. It's essentially a white supremacist dystopia or apocalyptic book where it falls in the war, and the African Americans are the evil people in the United States, and they go around cooking babies on pit fires and eating them, and it's completely vile of the worst. I mean, I've never read it, but I do remember I was working at Borders Books at the time, and my job was special ordering books for people. And someone filled out a slip to special order this book. And I actually went to the manager of the store saying, do you want me to order this? Because it comes from a small white supremacist press. And the manager said, let me get back to you. I guess they talked with the front office. And the front office said they don't want to be responsible for limiting what people can buy and read. So go ahead and order it. So I ordered the book and I put it on the shelf. But the order came with all this paraphernalia, like bumper stickers, like white power. And I just, I'm not giving you that crap. You just get the book when you order it.
Yeah, that's good you did that. I mean, the discussion about whether or not you ban Mein Kampf is obviously a similar kind of thing. But I think it's important to study Mein Kampf. And rip it apart, But yeah,
really.
But your example there sounds so blatant and so obvious that of how dangerous it is. But yeah, I don't know, because
I have doubts about. I mean,
yeah, because then you get, who's going to make the decision, and then are you just going to be ending up banning lots of things that shouldn't be banned?
Right. Now the Anarchist Cookbook tell you how to build bombs. That's a slightly different. And the funny thing is, someone said the guy gets it wrong.
There you go. Maybe it's not as dangerous as you think it is.
You're more likely to blow yourself up than.
Oh, there we go. That will be a bit of Darwinism. So Dan's heading out. Phone is needing charging.
Good night, Diane.
Thank you, Diane. I found a local silent reading event next week. Hey!
Yay!
Awesome. I literally met 2 people in the street over the last week that I thought would be interested in my daughter's silent reading event, and I was telling them about it. And I was like, oh yeah, and they wrote it in their phone or whatever. And so she may get a few more people coming up for that. Yeah, so they're really cool things. Silent reading clubs. So you bring your own books. You have to read the same book, and you just chat about books. While you're in between reading it. It's cool. So, and I think Jess got the idea because I think it started in America. So I think she got the idea from hearing about silent book clubs in America. I think. People saying goodbye. Night, Diane. Jim. Ciao. Talking about, I'll tell you what, ciao has just made me want to just give you a really uninteresting anecdote about family. So tomorrow night, we're going to meet up with my wife's cousin, Patricio, who is Italian and has just apparently, while he's been living over here, has been learning English. And when they were kids, he didn't speak English, and they found it really difficult to communicate. But they were close anyway, because she used to go to Italy all the time over the summer and that every year for the whole summer. So she kind of interacted with her aunties and uncles and cousins and stuff. And we're all really excited because we're going to see Patricia, who's been over here for a while. And it's been a big gap. So I met him once about 16 years ago. No, more than that, about 20 odd years ago. So a long time. I still remember what it looks like. And Ali hasn't seen her for a long time. So it's going to be really cool. So she's going to meet up with her cousin again. And we will probably say ciao at some point. That's nice, isn't it? People saying goodbye. People say goodbye. People saying goodbye. It's getting on dinner time.
See you, Cat.
And we've been here 3 hours.
That's normal for us, Greg.
All I'm saying is I'm going to have to say goodnight.
Absolutely. What we'll do is we get to the end of the comments.
All right. Well,
and then Dave's going to give us his big bombshell. He's been dying to tell us.
Okay.
This big secret that he's not done a video on it yet, but he wants to tell us first before he did the big video.
Do it.
Reveal some secret that he's been keeping inside him. Jenny says, and yet you don't write murder mysteries. I love the fact I have no context for that at all. Oh, that's Margaret. I wrote one thriller. I need to read Margaret's books.
I have one of her books on my Kindle. I keep it's her history in a trilogy.
I get a feeling that she's probably really good.
Someone gave it a really stunningly great review that I went out and said bye because I haven't found a way to squeeze it on my reading schedule yet.
So many books, but Margaret, I need to do this. She'll probably hate my books, but I want to read her books.
well, before we do that, maybe next year we should have a BookTube author event 1 month where
that's a brilliant idea.
Where your idea is you're going to read a book by a booktuber.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter who it is. Just you have to. So you would qualify, Gareth. Margaret would qualify.
Yeah.
Other people qualify, and the idea is you just read one book or more.
Yeah.
What month would be good? Well, we have to figure out a month.
I think that's great, and then just pick one book. Yeah, like you say, no heavy.
One book.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then the people who are involved can do like announcement videos where they give loads of people choices, because some people might not realize that some booktubers are authors.
Right.
That'd be great. I love that idea.
Let's do it. We'll figure out a month to do this.
Yeah. It's got to have some alliteration or something, isn't it? Author April. That's not alliteration.
No.
But yeah, we got to figure it out.
Indie April? I don't know.
Indie. Yeah. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But I think that's a great idea. I think everyone will love that idea. I'm not taking any cherry pie from you. So many lightweights in the chat. Yeah, absolutely. Support your local author, read by Fred. Yeah. Trump wrote a book? No, I think there's a book out of his quotes.
No, did he write The Art of the Deal, right?
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't?
That was ghostwritten.
Oh, was it ghostwritten? Yeah.
The ghostwriter come out and said, I wrote this book, And the ghostwriter does not like Trump at all.
Yeah, no, that's true. The whole Holocaust denial stuff is sick, isn't it? It's really sick. It's disturbing. Yeah, true. Yeah. While reading, fun. Thanks, Fred.
Thanks, Fred.
See you later, Fred. You gave us the best book title. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So lots of people are saying goodnight anyway, although we've still got 15 people in the chat, apparently. Friends for February. That's nice. That's a nice way of...
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and February's quite nice. Gives us a long time to announce it and stuff. I think that's a really cool idea. So, Friends for February.
That's a working. That's a working plan.
Working plan.
I love it. So, are we? Have I said everything I was going to say? I think I think I'm
out of things. I gotta. My voice.
I'm surprised Greg lasted this long. So Kudos.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I thought you might like leave after like an hour and a half.
Easier to be a guest than the host.
That's true.
And it was a lively chat as well, wasn't it? Which
It
was
was.
going. And
This
a
is a
lively
good
chat
one.
for us. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
And actually, MJ's reappeared.
Hey,
He says,
MJ.
Oh,
me like
hey,
you,
MJ.
which is cool. So yeah, MJ, because obviously MJ's a writer as well. So
He is.
so that's really cool. It'd be nice to support each other.
She's got to get her first book out by February now. You're on deadline.
Yeah. Although
Yeah.
she's not trying, she doesn't want to self-publish, so she'll have to get an agent and stuff. But I have so many booktuber books. I need an easy excuse to blitz through them. Yeah. I wanted. I mean, I don't know if I'll get. I don't know if I'll do it. I've got all this self-doubt, but I do want to finish another collection. I've written 4 stories, and I was just going to keep writing. And then when I felt like it was big enough to release a book, I was going to do another book. I think probably my best book is probably my first book, to be fair. My favorite book is my last one, but it's quite niche. You know, if you don't find it funny, you'll hate it. Whereas I think my first book has got different styles in it. You know, there's still clan, especially. Yeah, the clan still exists, absolutely. And the neo-Nazis are still around. Well, it's not. I mean, there's some of it's in government. I mean, there are some European governments that's really scary. I mean, the Austrian election was pretty bad last time. The French nearly had a far right government,
and
then they managed to vote her out, which is brilliant. But you know, the whole anti-immigrant thing is the thing that's stoking all this bullshit up. It's awful. They send out their publications with paraphernalia. Split House 5 and Forever by Judy Blumer banned. Yeah. I love the humor of a 12, so I would like it.
12-year-old.
Well, yeah.
All right.
Hopefully it's more sophisticated.
But yeah. Announcement?
Yeah, so what should we do? Should we chat about it first, get a little group together, and then...
My announcement is I'll be releasing a Garbogus announcement video.
Yeah.
That's the announcement.
So when's your Garbogus announcement video coming out?
Soon.
I'm
going to bring up the rear.
Shall I have a quick hello from Chico before we go any further?
Oh, yeah. Where's Chico? Forgot to put him on.
Like Ralph's down there, but I'll get Chico. Oh my God.
I don't have a cat down. I'd show one of my cats, but they're all upstairs.
Chico had a tough day today. He got a little lost, so he's going to have
poor Chico. Well, hey, Olive. Oh, she can't hear me. You got headphones on.
Yeah. Hey, you want to talk to Greg here?
Olive.
Oh, she's making a face. She's like,
Olive.
That's Greg. Greg's talking to you.
Hi, Olive. Yeah.
Hey, Chico. Look, there's Chico. There's Chico right there. Ah, there's Chico. Oh, there goes the other one. Look, there's Chico.
Hey, Chico. No, he's back in his headphones, so Chico can't hear me.
He can't even hear us.
Oh, good boy.
He's been shaved.
Chico's deaf.
You're right, mate. He's not the same man he was a year ago. But I wanted to bring him on screen. You're right. He's kind of staring into space a bit.
Hey, boy.
Aw.
You're right.
So that is the perfect way to end the show. You should have Chico.
Yeah.
You should have Chico at the end of every show. Perfect.
Yeah.
See? Yeah.
You're right.
Oh.
There we are, Chico. The one they're both obviously the same age. They came from the same litter, but he definitely acts like he's like 27 or something. So yeah, no, you're right. It was nice. So obviously we
it was
see
good.
there.
It
was a great chat.
For a change.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming, Greg.
Well, I enjoyed it.
This was a good time.
Yeah.
We appreciate you lasting the whole 3 hours and 10 minutes here.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I'm just quickly reading. Can you guys read the comments? Because they're really lovely comments. Yeah, so I won't put them up because we'll be here forever. But thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the love for Chico.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah.
And we will see you. Are we going to be on next week?
Yeah. Let's. We don't know who's going to be our guest yet, do we? So if anyone wants to be our guest next week, let us know. But we will start looking at that in the next few days.
Yeah. We have to shift the schedule, but
yeah. Have we worked out yet whether that coincides with my holiday as well? Or we're
no.
Still got to work that out?
But
yeah.
All right, everybody. So tentatively, we'll be back next week, but we'll check.
We should be. We should be back next week. Well, I'm going on holiday in August, but I'm just wondering if it'll still be 2 weeks, but whatever. We like it to be every fortnight. But yeah, thank you, Greg.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
I want to read the comments as well. But thanks, everyone. We're going to go. So have a great weekend. What day is it today?
Today's Thursday, or it might be
Thursday.
Friday. It might be Friday for you.
I've had such a weird week where I've had like loads of the weird called toil time off in lieu, and some of my lessons are finished now. So I don't know what day it is. Got to really think about it. So yeah, have a great weekend, everybody, and thanks a lot. End stream. You guys are still going to be there when I click.
Yep, I'll be here for a couple more minutes at least.
I get worried now because